First race in the round of 12, and the hope of winning a championship is becoming reality for 12 SnB drivers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel along Jordan McGraw tonight. How you doing out there, Jordan?
I'm doing great. It's fun to be back up here. Not since the PSES days have we gotten to do this.
I know it's been a while, and we're here at Kansas tonight. It's going to be a wild race. What have you seen out here so far?
A lot of people spinning out. That's what I've seen so far. The track is very slick, especially on corner exit. And yeah, this is going to be a tough race for these guys.
It is going to be a tough race. Yeah, I agree. We do have 12 playoff drivers. You're going to be able to see them on your screen. They are going to have the spoiler and the nameplate up high, and the back plate. It's all going to be in light blue. So Francis Hamilton, you can see him out there. You're going to see the light blue on his machine. We're going to have, let's see, Brody Falliker is going to have his on. So right now we're currently in practice with just 30 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a fun one tonight, but it is going to be a slippery one. We're going to have to go through all the details, but next up will be qualifying. We'll see what these guys can run. As you see, Brian McCann out here on track, and he went to the top of the board with a 31-33 out here in practice, Jordan.
Yep, and some early race or pre-race controversy on whether or not he will be racing with us this evening. We will see, I guess, but that is still a very blistering time. Him, Francis Hamilton, Tristan Health, our very own, you know him on Xbox as Element Zero. He hadn't raced with us in a while, and he is gracing with his presence tonight, so it's good to see him out here. And Justin Anasagak, also in the 31-3s here.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring out the playoff standings. 12 drivers, as you guys know, are in the playoffs. So the reality is definitely here that they can win a championship. The heat is on for these drivers. Every point matters, every position, every win. Anything that you can get, you got to give it your all from here on out. We have 3 races in the round of 12. So these drivers will have to take a look at what they can do. Out here, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, you can see him. He is one of the 12 playoff drivers. We haven't seen him in a couple of races, but here he is back at Kansas. Matthew Gale out on track in that 67 machine, another playoff driver. Joseph Turley in the 97. Tom Flitcroft, he is a playoff driver, just unable to get the contingencies onto his vehicle. And Micah out there in the 61, also a playoff driver. He just does not have it on his car. So Let's hope he does next week, Jordan.
Yep, we'll have to self-locate ourselves those playoff drivers that do not have the banner, and we'll try to keep y'all updated on who those guys are and are not. I am not a playoff driver, and they say in some circles to keep trying, but you know what? Every once in a while, when you miss out on something, you just got to give up and do something else. And so I'm in the mood tonight.
It's been a while. It's been quite maybe a couple of years since we've been in the booth together. So fun to have you out here tonight. And I think next week you said you'll be racing, but Tom Flitcroft on the board with a 31:46. He's going to be at the top of the charts with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in that 00. He's going to be 32:03. We're going to have Matthew Gale. He makes it up there with a 32:36. Micah with a 33:53. And it looks like these guys are starting to make their names on the board. The drivers out in blue are going to be the playoff drivers. And yeah, so 6 drivers on the board so far.
Yeah, it looked like Flitcroft went for 2 laps there. He went hard on both laps. Micah, I'm assuming, with a warm-up lap, and there you go. He goes to P3 on the board with a 5.25. Jurgensmeyer with a 5.06, and Turley to the top of the board with a 4.59. And Hamilton now, it just keeps on changing.
It sure does. These guys are leapfrogging. I got to give a shout out to MJ Seals. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 48 hard into the wall in his qualifying run. Fortunately for him, he's got a 31:42, but take a look at the damage on that right front. He's got the time, so hopefully no one will leapfrog him with that, but these times are close, and you can see how loose it is. I've talked about this every single race, about how loose these sets are. Ever since they did the update, these have gotten extremely loose, and so far from what I've heard from drivers, they don't get tight in the long run, so this could be an issue here tonight.
Yeah, and trying to make some laps around here, I was never able to get far enough into a run without the car doing evil things to me to see if it would tighten up. A handful of people have said it tightens up, but for the most part, everyone that I have heard said this has said that this car is a complete basket case. So, this might make for a lot of excitement tonight.
I think so. And we have Jimmy Cocker, one of the playoff drivers in that 11 machine. He is out there, 31:28 to the top of the charts, almost 2/10 faster than our second, then Joe Berg, and then Brody Fallick are going to answer back. So these guys just extremely close. And then we're going to have Justin Anisagak. He's going to get up there, P2. And it looks like we have just under a minute left for qualifying here. And you guys, let me know if the sound is okay as far as Jordan's voice compared to mine. It's always difficult to tell, so just let me know if it sounds okay. Let's take a look at these guys. Luke Allen out here, PJ O'Leary, and that 33 machine. Jose Ruiz, he's out there. P20th currently. We'll see if he can improve that. And Hunter Johnson, he usually does not qualify. Looks like he's out there. We'll see what kind of run he gives us tonight.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson usually goes for the maximum chaos route, and it looks like and looking at our FTR, at my FTR teammates, your FTR peons, the drivers that you lord over. Jose Ruiz gonna slot in at P17. It looked like John Honeycutt spun out on his lap potentially, and so he is going to start P24, and Jacob Palmer in P22, but he's not on our team. He just hangs out in our chat. And let's see, anyone else? Nope, that's all of us.
All right, well, it looks like Hunter Johnson did go ahead and grab pole position out there right now. We're going to be running warm up, so we'll see what these guys can do. Track analysis as far as tonight goes here at Kansas. 150 laps, no fast repairs. That is not going to change at all this season. Stages. The drivers have voted. They made their voice heard. They want stage cautions back. We will bring them back tonight. So for stage 1, we have 35 laps. For stage 2, it is another 35 laps. And in the final stage, it's going to be 80 laps in length. We will have 4 tire sets tonight.
Yeah, we got away from stage breaks, and the racing was a little too clean for these guys. So, we'll give a couple of more re-racks on the field to put everyone together and maybe create a little chaos. And as loose as these cars are on cold tires, yeah, restarts are going to be very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something that we're going to have to watch out for, especially if guys decide to restart on older tires. Could be some issues with that on restarts. We'll have to make sure we keep an eye out on that. As far as, let's take a look at the playoff standings. We have Justin Inisagak 26 to the good. Brody Falliker is going to be out there in second. Micah in third with 16 to the good. Jimmy Cocker in fourth. Brendan Book in fifth with 11 to the good. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in sixth. Francis Hamilton 4 to the good with Luke Allen. He's going to be in the top 8 here. Now, below the cutoff is going to be Josh Taylor. He is 1 point below cutoff. Thomas Flitcroft, who you saw did not finish the race last week. He made it into the final 12. However, now he's got to climb this uphill battle and make it into the top 8, along with Joseph Berg and Matthew Gale. All right, Jordan, I got to ask you, who do you think is going to be the underdog that is going to make it from the final 12 to the round of 8?
The underdog?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
You love it when I put you on the spot, don't you?
You look at Joseph Berg. He was able to put down a top 5 last week to lock himself into the playoff on points. He could very well top 5 his way to a appearance in the next round, starting 6th tonight. He's one of those guys. I think I'll go with him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If it were me, I know he's the top 8 currently, but I'm gonna go Luke Allen. I love the progress that he's making out there. He looks strong. He's getting a lot of top 10s. I think he's got a good shot making into the final 8. All right, Tristan Helf, he is out there starting 31:12 in warm-up, so he is the fastest out there. Brody Falliker, he's going to be out there in second. Jimmy Cocker in third. Brendan Book fourth. Jimmy Johnson. Hunter Johnson in sixth.
Jimmy Hunter Johnson.
You can see all those guys highlighted in blue. Those are going to be your playoff drivers. And Real, what's up? I hope you guys are doing good. Maddie, Evan, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great night.
Speaking of Hunter Johnson, he and playoff driver Brendan Book have had a little bit of a feud going the last couple of weeks, so that'll be something to watch for tonight when those two drivers are around each other.
Interesting you brought that up. You can see on the back of his car for Hunter Johnson. Definitely some beef going back and forth with these drivers. Hopefully, we do have the playoff driver, so hopefully there's not going to be any beef being thrown tonight out on track, but
beef.
Yeah.
Beef tossing.
We'll see how it goes, but man, these guys, they're all very passionate. They all like to show their displeasure and when they're excited. So I think tonight is going to be much of the same. I mean, it's a difficult track. It's loose. I'm not hearing a single driver say it's tight out there, but warm-up is over, you guys, and we're getting ready to go to grid, and it will be Hunter Johnson out on grid. So we're going to have to get this party started out here and get this grid going up here. All right, here we go. Kansas Motor Speedway for the round of 12 is going to be Hunter Johnson in that 30 machine. To his outside will be Jimmy Cocker in the number 11. In row 2, we're going to have Justin Inisagak in that 4 machine with Brody Falliker to his outside. Row 3 is going to see Brendan Book and Joe Berg. And row 5 is going to be Matthew Opliger in that 20 machine alongside Francis Hamilton in the 48. Joseph Turley is going to be P9 in the 97 with Tom Flitcroft in the number 8. And Jordan, go ahead.
We have Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in the P11 spot. Micah Allard rolling off 12th. Josh Taylor is 13th. Luke Allen 14th. Forrest Smith rolling off 15th. Christopher Karch starting P16. Jose Ruiz in the inside of row 9 with Philip Bridgman on his outside. Row 10 is Matthew Gale and PJ O'Leary.
Robert Holder is going to be 21st with Jacob Palmer in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Tristan Helf with John Honeycutt in that 50 car. Andrew Sanford going to start off P25th with Connor Cunningham, P26. And 27th, we have Jarrett Cardwell in the 12 car with Mike Campbell Jr. in that 71 starting P28th. And 29th, we have Kevin Dallator in the 92 with, last but not least, Brian McCann, who has come in here and grabbed a win or two, sitting P30.
Yeah, Brian McCann disconnected before qualifying, so he will not be making a start this evening.
All right, fair enough. That is going to be your field tonight, and what a field it is. Let's take a look as these guys get ready to go green here.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of grip these guys have, especially exiting turn 2, going through 3 and 4. The cold tires, it's going to be real difficult.
I agree, but here they go down the front stretch. We're going to have Hunter Johnson and Jimmy Cocker. These guys side by side all the way through. Hunter Johnson does not give up an inch. Jimmy Cocker on that outside, keeping a good way up there. Gets a little loose, going to lose a little bit. Man, these guys are sliding all over the place, Jordan.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson getting out to a good start, side by side from P2 on back. Now, Anasagak is going to be able to get ahead of Cocker, move him up into second. The battle is for third between Book and Cocker coming off of turn 4.
Take a look at these guys. Take a look at how wide these guys are going, just fanning out throughout the track. We were 3 wide, now we are back to 2. Matthew Opliger, he gains 4 spots from where he started. He's sitting P3. He was out there in 7th, so a great start for him already. Brendan Book in 5th. Jimmy Cocker falls back 2 spots to P4.
Yeah, here comes Justin Anasagak. He is one of those drivers that likes to rabbit his way out there at the beginning of these races. Has a lot of stage wins, leads the league in stage wins, and one of those guys who likes to get out there and lead laps. But here comes Oplinger on the inside, sticking his nose under Johnson, looking for the lead coming out of turn 2.
Justin hanging out on that outside. He's going to have that 20 on his inside. Let's take a look at where Jimmy is, and you can see he's on that inside. No help for Justin out there. Brendan going to bring it up high, but take a look. Hunter Johnson, he's got the choice lane wherever he wants to go. He is free to do so, but 20, he's not going to let him get away. He is up 5 spots, and he is on the tail end of Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, single file now from 1st through 4th. Now single file all the way through most of the field. Only side-by-side battle is about in mid-pack. Can't really see who that is back there. But, oh, Cocker gets really loose on the bottom, slides out of line. That's going to lose him a couple of spots.
3 wide almost. You got Brendan Book on the bottom, and you got Jimmy Cocker up high, Justin in the middle, but they have since situated out. Jimmy has just been stuck on that high side. Not so sure that he wants to be there, but he has no choice. Brendan Book bringing it into the inside. He is up 5th. That is exactly where he started. Brody Falliker, he's going to be directly behind him in that 42 machine. Hopefully he can give some help to his teammate.
Yeah, that outside lane can be faster, but it's also where the more tire wear seems to be, and that is early in this race not where you want to be if you're Jimmy Cocker, but right now he is trying to fight to hold on to a little bit of track position. Maybe not fighting too hard, maybe attempting to save a little tire while he's stuck up there, but still not in the spot he wants to be now. The 42 backs out to let him in line. He's going to get down to that white line and see if he can hold that car underneath him.
This is about the top 12 drivers out here we see on this blimp cam, and just nose to tail out here. Not a lot of double file. You can see these guys. We do have 35 laps for these stages, so they will have to survive at least that. And so far, they are doing it. But man, oh man, they have quite a challenge as the conditions are extremely loose. But take a look at this battle for the lead. That is going to be Matthew Opliger in the 20 car with Hunter Johnson in the 30, with Hunter being on the outside. He is known to take advantage of that high side, but he can hit the wall as he exits. So he will have to keep aware of that and try to stay off that wall.
Yeah, the 20 must have either been pedaling it a little bit because the 30 of Johnson was loose through 3 and 4, but was still able to maintain that spot. Here's where the 20 was able to make that move, got a great launch off of turn 2, and was able to draft alongside the 30. This time, not as fortunate. There is a car length gap between the two as they exit off of turn 4. Opliger exiting a little bit lower. Johnson with that higher line able to get down to the apron a little bit quicker and cut the start-finish line as they head off into turn 1.
You don't see a lot of guys using that apron down there. It does upset the car a little bit, gets a little loose, especially with how loose it already is. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of drivers remain above that apron in the tri-oval, but take a look at these guys as they're making their way through. We do have a 2-car breakaway that is going to be these two. Let's take a look. Big
bobble out of Johnson. Opliger on the inside. They're also side by side for the 3rd position as well. 2 battles up in the top 4.
Half a second behind is going to be Justin Anisagak. That is going to be the first driver in the playoffs. And you can see he is leading a very hungry field. And they are all lit up in blue. Those are your playoff drivers. The top 2, however, they have nothing to lose. They are out here for just a win and for some fun.
Yeah, another big bobble out of Hunter Johnson. Might have clipped the apron there that time to cause that one, but he loses a lot of ground to the leader, Matthew Opliger. He's falling back into the clutches of Brendan Book. And again, those two have a little bit of recent history between those two, a little bit of bad blood. We'll see if that affects how they race each other here in these upcoming laps.
Johnson with not a great race. The last race he was in here, so I know he's looking for some redemption. Let's take a look on board. You can see exactly how loose he gets as he's trying to hold on to it off of turn 4. I haven't seen him hit the wall yet, but Jordan has mentioned how loose he has gotten off those exits.
I think he's clipping the apron there. It looked like he once again put the left front fender on the apron, and that keeps unsettling his car.
Yeah, he most certainly did. I watched him do it a couple of times. We're on board in the cockpit view, and he has definitely hit that apron, which just sends him up the track, gets him a little fishtail. And yeah, there he goes again, that front end just going down. But he is making his way back up to that 20 car. We'll see what he can do, but that has allowed these drivers behind him. They're back up here, and they are knocking on the door of Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, we'll see what tire wear does, but the draft seems to be a big player so far. Is every time someone gets away, the field behind them able to accordion back together. And right now we have a long line of cars, about 10 strong, heading through 3 and 4, all behind the leader, Matthew Opliger.
Take a look back here. P9 is going to be Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Unfortunately, he does keep on lagging out. You hate to see that. He is a playoff driver. Hasn't been in here for a couple of weeks. I want to see him do well. He's always got a great machine out here. So let's hope that he can get that straightened out. But let's take a look at the track map, and you can see just how tight this field really is. Not a lot of cars spread out. So these guys are still very much on top of each other. Lap 14 of 150. Don't forget that first stage ends lap 35.
A couple of guys playing with that outside lane. Hunter Johnson went up there through 1 and 2, and Francis Hamilton trying it now in 3 and 4 and now in 1 and 2. So a couple of guys testing the waters up there around the wall to see if this is the time in the run to be attempting that.
On the back of Brendan Book, you can see him. He's sitting P3rd currently. He's got Jimmy Cocker right behind him. Another playoff driver is going to take it down low. We had Jimmy Cocker. He was stuck on the outside. He is now on that inside, I do believe, where he is going to want to take that car. So he is going to be able to take advantage of that, maybe gain back a few spots that he lost at the start of the race.
16 laps into this 150 lap event, and so far everybody playing pretty nice. Now Brendan Book up there attempting to run that outside lane. It's very quick, but with these Xfinity cars, they drive a lot off the right rear. Is up ahead, we see, and there's a big crash.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, we caught it on that camera right there, just snagged the wall, got super loose and spun it around. Unfortunately, we'll go back and take a look, see if we can find out what exactly happened out here.
Yep, just off of corner exit, got really tight, got loose, and unfortunately for Joseph Berg, nowhere for him to go, just an innocent bystander.
Yeah, it gets tight there, snags it just enough. It's going to have some front end damage right there, but woes it down enough where most everyone is able to make it by, unfortunately, except for Joe Berg there, I think you said.
And that ties into to what I was about to say before they crashed, is that outside lane with these Xfinity cars, they drive off the right rear. So if you get tight and you have to let out of the gas, that stops the car from turning even more. So you have to get it just right to be able to make that outside lane work here in these cars.
Yeah, great point with that. You know, when you do drive these, it is definitely something that you have to feel out. You have to know the limits of these cars and expect what they may or may not do. And in a race like this, when you're a playoff driver, this is definitely going to hurt him out here. Hopefully he does not have a lot of damage. I don't see a ton, and luckily he was able to slow it up enough that it hopefully will not knock him out too far of this race.
Well, the visual damage on all of these cars doesn't look too bad, but that doesn't really mean anything. The right front crumpled up a little bit on this on this 00 car. Honestly, the worst, getting the worst in that was probably the 93 of Joseph Berg.
See if we can't take a look at Joe Berg right here. You see him in that 93 machine. Unfortunate. I don't see him in here anymore, so I don't know if he is now officially out. It shows him in pits. Hopefully he can fix it up, but man, just so sad to see that.
Yeah, he is disconnected. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but yeah, that car likely had a lot of damage. That was a big hit directly to the front end, and at some places, the front end of these cars could be a little bit fragile. I learned that at Road America earlier this season. So, you know, maybe he hit that just right, that the front end was completely totaled on this car.
Joe Berg was one of the playoff drivers. He was in 11th out there. Really unfortunate to see. He had 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Hopefully he can make his way back in if it was a mistake that he got out, but we'll see. Our leader, though, that 20 car, Matthew Opliger, he has done so well in all the races that he has come out here. He will lead us back to green. We're going to have Hunter Johnson. He is in 2nd. Jimmy Cocker in 3rd. Brendan Book is in 4th. And Justin Anasagak, he is currently rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I called Joe Berg as my underdog pick, and now he is out of the race. So, I've called one race in like 2 years, and I've already booth cursed somebody.
I'm not sure what just happened with that, but Hunter Johnson just crashed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
See if we can go back and find out what happened. Hunter Johnson just under pace formation here, and all of a sudden I see cars going left and right.
Yeah. It's like his wheel disconnected, I think. Or something. Yeah, because it all it pegged and the car went straight left, and it's like yeah, it's like his wheel disconnected. Oh,
Man,
and at the very last, he gets killed by the 92.
that's going to be Kevin Delator in that 92. I don't even see Hunter Johnson out here anymore. Oh, now it's showing him in second. Okay. Some strange happenings out here tonight, Jordan. Like, what is even going on?
Is it a full moon? Is it still Halloween? Okay.
No.
It looks like yeah, he disappeared, and then the 30 like pops out of nowhere, and yeah, I don't know if he sees exactly what I see, but yeah, it looks like Johnson like completely like disappeared off the racetrack and then appeared right in front of the 92.
You know, he's got a lot of rear damage on that, and unfortunately, the 92 involved. I feel like Kevin has just had a really tough time trying to stay out of shenanigans out here. The 30 car, not exactly sure. I don't know if it's a black screen. I've heard of drivers lately having a black screen or some kind of screen pop up, and maybe he just put on the brakes so others would know what was going on, maybe shout it out in chat. I don't know, but definitely weird happenings out here.
Yeah, if Delator saw what I saw, there was no chance Delator could dodge him because the 30 completely disappeared off of the face of the earth. But here we go, we're going green again. Let's see what kind of start we see.
Chat saying that is weird, and you are not wrong. Here we go. Matthew leading us back to green. Hunter Johnson on that outside. Jimmy Cocker on the inside, and he's probably saying, let me get away from these guys. I want to get away from the trouble as Jimmy makes his way. Hunter Johnson going to stay up high, maybe to stay out of trouble. Not sure if he's kind of thinking that he's going to have some more issues, but these guys are off and running.
3 wide for the third position as Offlager and Cocker, they get out in front. All these guys still on the same tires. Hunter Johnson getting loose, maybe affected by that rear end damage. He was loose to begin with, but now he moves up high, getting out of everyone's way. I think he believes that car is too damaged to continue at pace.
Yeah, so unfortunate. Brody Falliker, I don't know if he's got any damage, but...
Tell us what you got when you get a chance.
Luke Allen, Matthew Gale involved. Jordan, what did you see?
Let's go back and see. I'm not really sure. I was watching the 40 getting into the side of the 30 there, and it looks like John Honeycutt gets loose, hooks the 7 of Luke Allen into the wall.
Go back, see if we can't find out what exactly happened here. Yeah, gets loose in that middle lane, hooks Luke Allen, Matthew Gale. The 9 involved a little bit, gets loose. Oh man, playoff drivers just dropping like flies out here tonight. We are gonna have a lot of unhappy drivers.
But both of the drivers that we mentioned pre-race involved in the first 2 accidents of the night.
I'm telling you guys, the booth curse is a real thing. I just need to quit asking it. I need to quit bringing it up. It is definitely a thing.
Yeah, big contact for the 7 of Luke Allen and the 67 of Matthew Gale. Just nowhere Gale could have gone, and obviously nothing Luke Allen could have done either. Just on the bottom, minding his own business, and gets that right hook, and it's over from there. An excellent job from Connor Cunningham to dodge that accident, though.
A lot of drivers going to be going in here. It's lap 24 of 150. Still a lot of racing left, and you can see some drivers making their way on down pit lane, trying to get that damage repaired. Matthew Gale, he's got some damage. Luke Allen, both of these drivers, playoff contenders. Just, man, tough start here. And we haven't even finished the first stage yet here.
Yeah, that's going to be... these guys haven't even begun to fight yet, and so far 2 big wrecks. This one on a restart. Most of the field opting to stay out on their older tires. I imagine a lot of those guys, are either repairing damage. Some of them may be coming in to put fuel in the car, maybe tires. But I imagine if you're wanting to stay in the back, you're probably going to want to hold on to those until a little bit later, unless you're of the mind that you want to take some tires now and putt around until the end of the stage, and then try to flip it and get to the front for some track position. But that's a pretty dangerous game to play here at Kansas.
Yeah, just with the conditions out here, that is going to be definitely a risk. Let's go through our top 10. Matthew Opliger is going to be the only one in the top 5 that is not a playoff driver. P2 is going to be Jimmy Cocker with Brendan Book sitting 3rd. Justin Anasagak, he is sitting 4th with Brody Falliker, P5. In 6th, we have Tom Flitcroft with Francis Hamilton in 7th. Tristan Helf up 15 positions in P8 with Josh Taylor up 4. He's sitting P9. And to round out your top 10 is going to be Forrest Smith and that 81 machine.
Yeah, Forrest Smith entering the top 10. He's another driver who's been on the lips of other drivers in the field. We'll see what he does as he gets toward the front here in amongst the various playoff drivers. And as you mentioned, Tristan Helf has already, in the short time this race has been going on, already moved up into the top 10 after starting in the 20s. So an excellent job working his way through the pack by that guy.
And 11th, we're going to have Jose Ruiz in that 23 car with Philip Bridgman in 12th. Robert Holder is going to be 13th with Jarrett Cardwell up 13 spots sitting P14. And Chris Karch sitting 15th with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who got tight earlier on, hit the wall. He is sitting P16th with Connor Cunningham 17th, Joseph Turley 18th, Andrew Sanford 19th, and Jacob Palmer P20.
Looks like Joseph Berg has reconnected to the race. He is still out in pit road, still fixing that car, it looks like. Actually, he is just now coming off. So they have managed to fix that race car, but 8 laps down. But anything can happen. Only 3 drivers laps down at the moment. So we'll see what happens with Joseph Berg here. But he is going to have to fight an uphill battle just to get a respectable finish on this evening.
Yeah, he's got a tough road ahead here. These guys are lined up double file. You can see the playoff drivers in that blue spoiler. In the contingencies, we'll see as they restart. But Matthew Opliger, he's got a lot of hungry people around him looking for some positions as we go back green.
And we'll see what kind of tires Jimmy Cocker has saved. He has been one of those guys who's been kind of in the middle back, as Justin Anasagak hasn't quite been the fixture out front, but maybe he is saving a little bit of tire too. Either way, those two expected to make some noise here along with Brendan Book, but it will be Matthew Opliger who has led most of this race, leading him to the line here.
Hunter Johnson reaching out in chat says, talk to me next, yellow, but here we go. Back to green, and the sunset is out here looking quite beautiful, and these guys side by side all the way through with Matthew leading the field.
Yeah, Opliger with a car length lead over Brendan Book. Book is all alone in P2, but they are side by side for the 3rd position between whoever that blue car is. That is Brody Falliker and Jimmy Cocker. So Falliker already trying to make some moves from 5th spot on this restart. He is into the 3rd position.
Our top, it looks about 6 drivers are single file, and it looks like Tom Flitcroft trying to find his way. No, that's going to be Tristan Helf on the outside. Most of everyone else is going to be single file. He's trying to make his way into that line with a bunch of playoff drivers around him. Tom Flitcroft behind, Josh Taylor 9th. Forrest Smith is going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, a handful of drivers blinking in and out momentarily. Seen it with Thomas Flitcroft and seen it with a yellow and black car a little bit further back. Not sure who that is, but either way, a little bit of net code action going on. As you can see, a couple of drivers working that high line, but just hasn't been able to provide the gains that they're looking for yet.
Brendan Book, he takes a look at this 2nd spot as he's got Brody Falliker and Jimmy Cocker directly behind. We're on board Matthew Opliger taking a look out his rear view, and man, that is a crowded field, and I don't know if that's a car up into the wall, or maybe no, that's just writing on the wall here. But man, oh man, some crazy shenanigans going on tonight. But so far, we're coming up to the stage 1 finish, lap 35. So take a look. Once we get the top 10 drivers clearing lap 35, that will be stage 1 finish here. And our top 10 drivers will receive their bonus points.
Yeah, Francis Hamilton had put a pretty nasty slider on Justin Anasagak out of turn 4 a lap ago, was able to hold on to it. They've continued on. There's a side-by-side battle now for the 3rd position as Cocker is on the inside of Brennan Book, who's up against the wall, now running around the bottom of that seam. Move Cocker up into the 3rd position, Book back into 4th.
Want to take a look at this battle. Let's go on board. Francis Hamilton has had a great run this season. I mean, just so incredibly strong. You can see him on this high side getting extremely loose, so close to the wall. That's going to be a line that some of these guys run. You don't want to run it too much as it's going to wear down those tires, but he's got Tom Flitcroft on that low side as he is still taking advantage of that high side for Francis. But man, take a look. It just shows you how loose these drivers are getting out here under these conditions. Chris Karch in that 40 machine directly underneath.
Yeah, and the way turns 3 and 4 set themselves up, it's very inviting on entry if you're using that high line. It's very, very wide entry, very easy to power it in there, but then the corner really tightens up on exit. So if you don't have the line right or speed right, throttle right, if you don't have it all right, it is very easy to get it wrong. And that means getting loose as they're 3 wide right now for about the 5th position or 6th position.
Take a look at this. It's going to be Justin Anasagak. Yeah, and Tom Flitcroft side by side for position here. Tom Flitcroft, he is a playoff driver, just does not have those contingencies on there. So a very important position. Every position matters. And Tom Flitcroft, after last race, he's definitely got an uphill battle to climb out here. But so far, these guys are doing good, and we are lap 35 of 150. At the end of this, a caution will come out.
Yeah, these guys racing really hard as they come to the line for this stage. Looks like Opplage are going to win a side-by-side battle for that 3rd position.
Great job for him. He's going to get 10 points. Brody Fallaker is going to get 9. Tristan Helf, he's not in it, but he's going to get some points for getting out there. Jimmy Cocker gets 3rd. I can't tell. They're switching up positions, but our top 10, they will get those 10 bonus points, with 10th receiving 1 point.
Yeah, the top 10, it looks like, was Matthew Opplinger, Brody Fallaker, the highest finishing playoff driver, in 2nd, getting 9 points. Jimmy Cocker, Tristan Health, Brendan Book, Christopher Karch able to work his way up into the 6th position. I think he might have been on fresher tires there. I'll have to check that. Justin Anasagak in 7th, Thomas Flitcroft in 8th, Francis Hamilton 9th, and Josh Taylor were your 10-point scoring drivers here in stage 1 of tonight's race at Kansas.
Yeah, Chris Karch had 18-lap-old tires, so he did have some fresher tires than the rest of the drivers out there, taking some advantage of that as he gained 10 spots. Tristan Helf is our biggest gainer tonight, gaining 19 spots as he was in P4. And I guarantee our leaders will be coming down pit lane. At least I would be.
Yeah, that strategy of Karch will work out if we get a long green flag run to end that final stage. But if we get some cautions to break it up and to where he might miss that extra set of tires, that might come back to bite him. But this was a good play to get some track position early on as our leaders head to pit road.
Yeah, here they come on down pit lane here. The 20 is going to be in his spot. I mean, he's just had a great run this entire night. The 42 making great gains out here. Jarrett Cardwell, take a look at this, though. He stays out and going to be behind that pace car.
Yeah, and a driver that is not going to be happy about that is Joseph Berg and Kevin Dallator, a bunch of guys who are going for that wave around. It looks like Cardwell playing some strategy to get some track position. I don't know how I love it, but we'll see if it'll work out for him here as he is the Lone Ranger out there on the lead lap, not coming to get tires.
Matthew Opplinger, he is the first one out. Brody Fallaker comes out 2nd. Jimmy Cocker 3rd. Brendan Book 4th. Tristan 5th. Justin Anasagak and gonna come out P8, but fifth one in line here, Francis Hamilton, Tom Flitcroft, Jose Ruiz, and Josh Taylor. So a long line of guys coming out of pit lane here. And yeah, Jarrett Cardwell, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Karch was able to beat them all out. I think he took 2 tires there. So, again, an interesting strategy call by him for some track position. We'll see how that works out. 2 tires on this game can be a little weird. Sometimes it'll be real loose, firing off for no reason, and then it'll really tighten up, which you would expect it to be tight with the higher air pressures in the left sides. We'll see how the balance on the 40 car acts on this restart when we've seen cold tires be really treacherous for a lot of these drivers.
We've seen it time and time again. As you say, it can happen with a not good restart. We'll see what goes on. Lap 39 of 150. Our next stage finish will be on lap 70, so we do have a while to go. Third caution of the night. This one, of course, for the stage, giving these guys bonus points. That was voted back in by the drivers. A very close vote, but nonetheless, these guys wanted those stage cautions. Send in Rage, which is Hunter Johnson, says the tire wear is bad. Yeah, here at Kansas, I guarantee that is definitely a thing.
That does not bode well for Cardwell or Karch up here on the front row.
Let's see. Our first playoff driver is going to be Brody Falliger. Then we're going to have Jimmy Cocker, Brennan Book, all drivers in the playoff. Justin Anisagok sitting P8, another playoff driver. Francis Hamilton, Josh Taylor sitting P11. So quite a few playoff drivers making their way back up here after the stage caution. If you're Jarrett Cardwell, what is the best thing that you could do on this restart here?
Not crash. You want to run a good line. Something happened with the 00 of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. He was real slow up in the high line through 3 and 4, and then he stopped on the front stretch. So very interesting here. Okay, his wheel has disconnected. I believe that's the second time we've had that issue tonight. So that is very interesting. A little bit of lag, a little bit of weird disconnection issues. Strange night here at Kansas.
I've seen him blinking out quite a bit, and he as a playoff driver has had a phenomenal run this season. So something that you definitely don't want to see happen. Playoff start. I mean, there's just so much pressure. You can't afford any mistakes, especially one that you can't even help. It's just so frustrating to see that for him. All right, guys, lined up side by side, getting ready to go back to green, I do believe we'll see this time around. Lights are still on, and now they are off. So, yeah, we will go back to green this time around.
And to go back to what you said about what you want to do on this restart, if you're Cardwell, just want to run good laps, be smooth, and be predictable here, because they're going to be around a bunch of guys. We're going to be a lot faster than you. Just try to make lap time, but don't slip. Don't be desperate. Don't panic. That's your best course of action here if you're these two drivers on a little bit different strategy on the front row.
Sometimes I feel like it sounds like a good idea, and then sometimes when you get up there, you think it like, maybe that wasn't the best idea. I'm kind of curious how he feels about this, and we'll see how he deals with it as we go on the restart.
It'll be fun to see how it works out, especially for late in the race, if some of these guys, especially the playoff drivers, need a little bit of track position. If this works out, if this nets him a few positions from where he was running, then maybe this is an option later in the race. But again, we'll have to see how this works.
24th is caught back up to the field. We will go green this time around. Here they go, lined up side by side. We will go back to green on Jarrett's call. So when he goes, everyone
Green
goes.
flag.
And he's going to have Chris Karch to his outside. Not a bad start for Jarrett. I mean, he looked really solid on that. Now we just got to see how it goes into turn one. He's going to bring it to the high side. And we'll see how he gets around here. We're going to have 20 already taking a look, trying to get to that lead. making no problem trying to get back up there. Doing a great job.
Yeah, very smooth restart out of the front row on different tires than the rest of the field. Jarrett not able to get to the bottom there, opened up a lane for Opliger. Now they're running up in the high line, and now Cardwell really struggling on those older tires, trying to use the high lane as everyone scatters to get around him. But Opliger and Cocker have separated themselves from the rest of the field going into turn one.
Take a look at this 3 wide. The 94 almost hooked. I don't know how he saved that. And it's going to be Chris Karchin, that 40 machine, as he goes 3 wide multiple times. People trying to get out of the way so they don't have any mistakes, don't have a caution. But man, oh man, some close contact racing with these drivers as they were going 3 wide here around Kansas.
And now the front 6 have separated themselves. Cardwell now hanging on, battling for that 7th position. That's going to be an easy pass for the 48 of Francis Hamilton on those fresher tires. Forrest Smith comes with him. Move Cardwell back to 9th after starting pole here as there is a wreck behind.
See, it looked like possibly Connor Cunningham involved. We'll go back and try to find out what exactly happened here. The 39 just gets loose right across the nose of the 3 car. So unfortunate. Nothing Connor Cunningham could have done with that. We're going to have a yellow here, guys.
Yeah, just running that seam and gets loose. And yeah, the poor 3, the poor 37, neither of them had anywhere they could have gone on that one. Luckily, it was only a 3-car wreck, but those 3 cars hit pretty hard off of each other.
Yeah, they sure did. Matthew Opliger was the leader at the time of caution. Jimmy Cocker finds himself back in 2nd. Brody Falker 3rd. Brendan Book 4th. Tristan Helf, still our biggest, one of our biggest movers, up 18 spots to P5. Justin Anisagak 6th. Francis Hamilton 7th. Forrest Smith 8th. Jarrett Cardwell up 18 spots after leading the field back to green. He sits P9. Jose Ruiz still in the top 10 out here, so great night for him.
Yeah, it's a little early in a run for Jose Ruiz to be that high up the field, so good on him to get some track position here. Now, he's always really good at saving tires and being really good at the back half of a run. With these stage breaks, doesn't really fit to his style, but running in the 10th position, he's in a good position to maintain some track position and get a good finish in the stage and set himself up for the rest of the race.
Hunter Johnson sitting out here P11th with Chris Karch. We saw him 3 wide multiple times somehow save his car after being in the middle. Difficult situation for him, but he sits there in 12th. Josh Taylor right where he started, P13. John Honeycutt up 10 spots to 14th, and Tom Flitcroft, one of our playoff drivers, in 15th. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, tough race for him. A lot of technical issues. We see him blinking in and out. Got tight earlier on, hit the wall, and it's been an uphill battle for him this entire night.
Yeah, night that started with a decent amount of promise, but then started 11th. Not really where we're used to seeing him qualify. He's one of those guys that typically runs up around the top 5 for a lot of the event. But as you said, just not his night so far. But luckily, we still have over 100 laps to go in this race, so plenty of time to make a chicken salad out of you know what.
I just got a message from one of our race control, and they're saying the 00 did get a penalty for too much in and out, and I assume that means too much blinking, perhaps. So I don't know if that was what the issue was earlier on for that 00. Unfortunate to see for him as a playoff driver, but I haven't seen him blink in a while, so that is good news. Let's hope it continues.
Yeah, let's hope that continues indeed. And yeah, I can see now the penalty that was given.
Kind of wishing that Matthew Opliger was in the race chat here, but then again, I'm glad he's not, because there is a lot
We would
of...
jinx him.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to jinx more drivers out here, and he's having a fantastic run. He's one of these drivers, Jordan, that I feel like has a great start to the race, and then something crazy happens later in the race and doesn't go too well for him. We'll see what happens tonight, but Jimmy Cocker, Matthew Opliger, Brody Falliker, all extremely consistent, along with Brendan Book and Tristan Helf. So we'll see if those guys remain out in the top 5. So far, it's looking great for them. Fourth caution of the night, lap 48 of 150. Still over 100 laps. We're not even halfway through this race, Jordan. If you had to pick now, who do you think would win tonight?
Well, I mean, so far, Matthew Opliger has seemed pretty untouchable up there in the lead. Did watch Brody Falliker at the end of that first stage come on really strong to challenge him. So the 42, I think, will provide some resistance to that 20 car. And I think he's going to be someone to watch here. But I think the 90, I like the look of the 94 of Health, you know. First race with us in a long while. I think he could be a spoiler tonight amongst these other drivers who have run most or part of the season already.
You know, we've had a couple of drivers that are part-time and have come in and won. Brian McCann has won 2 races out here just a few races ago at the Glen. Matthew Opliger, he has not gotten a win yet, so I know he would love to see one. See what happens with him, or can it be Tristan Helf? We go back to green, and we're going to have Matthew Opliger with a great start. Jimmy Cocker, not a good start on that high side. Going to fall back a little bit here.
He was trying to jump it, I think. They were trying to anticipate it, and Opliger got him, or maybe spun the tires, whatever. Cocker actually able to get away with it a little bit and slide behind Falliker and not lose a lot. But now Brendan Book side by side with Tristan Helf, who is a teammate of Book. Helf is a member of C Motorsports this evening, part of that organization, so he'll probably give him a few breaks as Book's now side by side with an Asagak coming into the start finish line at lap 50 of the race.
Matthew still leading the race out here in that 20 machine with Brody Falliker directly behind. No driver getting away, but the top 3 do have a little bit of a gap between them and Brennan Book. But man, oh man, that gap is quickly closing. You see Justin Anasagak, he is definitely pushing Brennan Book up there with Tristan Helf. Not too far behind. Forrest Smith going to follow back there, up 8 spots from where he started, sitting P7.
Opliger continuing to hold off. Falliker looked like he got a little bit tight coming off of turn 4, so that was able to that allowed Opliger to extend his lead by maybe half a car length, but still Falliker right on his rear bumper heading down the back straight. Brendan Book now looking once again to the inside of an Asagak, but an Asagak looking to the outside of Cocker as they come off of turn 4.
Take a look at these guys, extremely close racing, and with how loose these conditions are out here, they are getting awfully racy. You have it 2 and sometimes 3 wide, but man, they are looking incredibly strong out here on board with Brendan Book. You can see he's got the 42 machine directly in front of him. These guys going for every position that they can grab.
Yeah, that was a strong move by Asagak through turns 1 and 2 to get around the outside of Falliker, who actually lost 2 spots there trying to seemingly go up and block that move from an Asagak. So Cocker able to get up to 2nd, and Asagak up to 3rd, and Falliker all the way back to 4th, as he has a bit of a gap there to Brendan Book, who has a really tight line behind him with Tristan Helf and Forrest Smith looking to continue moving forward. But now we have a battle for the lead.
Jimmy Cocker takes a peek. He's going to be on that inside. He does have the lead. I'm not sure Matthew's going to be able to take that back, but he's got to run. He's going to take it to the inside, a nose out. He will take back that lead just as quickly as Jimmy Cocker took it over. Matthew takes it back.
Yeah, I was wondering if the 11 was going to give him the outside. He did not, but Opliger was ready for that, ready for the crossover, able to get that position back from Cocker. Now as they head side by side down into turn 3, Opliger right on Cocker's side. He gets loose, maybe a little bit of netcode contact there. Not sure what that was, but yeah, Cocker really struggling. He's able to hold on to it, and Asagak to the inside.
like maybe a little bit of contact got his car just a little loose, and now he's gonna have to try to gather it back up. Maybe those tires a little bit angry as he is in that middle line. You got to stay away from the seams because they will get you loose, fishtail you. But Justin makes his way up into second place. Such a strong contender this season. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the final four. He's just been so incredible. Really fun to watch him out there.
He's been definitely one of, if not the most consistent drivers in the field all season long. As he's moved up into that second position, he's rode around the third to fifth position all night long. But now at the midpoint of this second stage, he's wanting to make his presence felt. As we're closing in, we're taking off the laps here in stage 2.
Take a look at the sunset as we're on board. Brendan Book in the cockpit view. He is directly behind Forrest Smith in that 81 machine as he sits P6 currently, down one spot from where he started. Just a single file line. This train is definitely moving, and you can see Brendan working that steering wheel as these guys are getting so incredibly loose around these corners.
Yeah, Smith has been a driver moving forward this entire restart up into the top 5. We'll see what he can do if he has hurt those tires doing so. You can see him really loose running that middle lane, but he has been making it work, working his way through the field. But now he's falling back into the clutches of Brendan Book, who is looking to take that position back. But again, we have a battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead, and Forrest Smith getting incredibly loose, but I gotta take it up to the lead here. Justin Anasagak taking a look. He's gonna be in the lead currently. Matthew directly behind him. Great move for Justin. He's just been so incredibly strong. He finally gets his win out here tonight. He could get another one at Kansas. I know Matthew, he's been strong out here. Led, I do believe, the most laps so far, but Justin, he won last week at Darlington. A sweet, sweet victory. His first here for SnB.
Yeah, and that's a guy with another nice run around the outside. That is where he's made most of his passes here. He was able to get around Cocker when they got sort of messed up racing each other, but he was able to get around Falliker around the outside, and now Oppliger around the outside as well. And right now making that lane work without really hurting his tires, but because he still seems to have a lot of pace and a lot left in the tank. And the yellow is out, and also the 81 is in the wall.
Yeah, I was taking a look at him. He really flung it in there and went straight to the outside. Second crash involving Jacob Palmer. Let's see. I know he already had one. Let's see what happened with him. Oh, he's going to get snagged. I don't know if Micah came down or the 39 came up, but it's going to be between Micah and Jacob. Let's see if we can find out.
Yeah, that's definitely Micah coming down a little bit. Not sure if he got loose. Probably did. Looking in the cockpit, yeah, his wheel is hard right. So, yeah, he got loose off the corner and got the 39.
Fortunate to see here we have yet another caution, and the 81 we saw into the wall right as that was coming out, and we saw with that 81 how loose his car was getting, and I think this is one of those times where he might come in to get some tires, or it's just good time to cool off those tires.
I mean, it just depends on what your strategy is. If you're if you're needing to stay out here to make what you want to do work, then you're gonna just have to eat it and stay out there. But it doesn't look like we've had a lot of takers to pit road. A few in the back, in the middle of the pack, are coming in, but most of our leaders, all of our leaders, are staying out this time.
24 lap old tires for these guys. Hunter Johnson, he has gone in twice already, but again for him, 24 lap old tires. So these guys in the same situation. As Jordan says, it looks like our top 17 drivers are staying out. Our next drivers are going to be Francis Hamilton, Tom Flitcroft, Micah, Luke Allen, Jarrett Cardwell, Robert Holder, Jacob Palmer, and Connor Cunningham, all on pit lane.
Yeah, Hamilton was running pretty well, so interesting for him to give up that track position. Flitcroft also making that same decision. And then we would expect the 12 of Jarrett Cardwell to be getting some fresh rubber after the way those restarts had gone for him, and Connor Cunningham, who is still trying to fix his car from an earlier wreck, as well as Luke Allen, also coming off of pit road.
All right, Chad, I see you guys out there. Let me know who you think is going to win tonight. Justin has been so incredibly strong out here. Matthew, I do believe, has led the most laps. Another strong car. He has not had a victory out here. He is also not in the playoffs. Justin Anasagak is in the playoffs, and he did get his first win last week. Jimmy Cocker, he does have one win. He got it at Dover. Brody Falliker has got a couple of wins out there. Let me know who you think. Straight out of Alaska says, let's go Justin. So we already have some Justin fans out here. He's currently going to lead us back to green, and you can see he is a playoff driver. Chloe, I see you out there for Tom Flitty. All right, let's take a look at Tom. P19, still plenty of racing left. Lap 63 of 150. Can Tom get back up here? He is a playoff driver. He may not look like one with no blue on, but he most certainly is. Jordan, I'll tell you, I spoke to Justin Anasagak directly before this, and he was the only driver that said his car felt great. He had no issue with it. Maybe a little loose, but he said overall he liked the way his car felt, and I can tell he's doing good out here out front, looking confident.
Yeah, it's easy to do well when you're enjoying yourself, and if the car feels good, then the driver typically feels good as well. So you definitely see that in the pace that he has had all evening long. And he's been one of the few that haven't really had a noticeable bobble. And he's also one of those guys who's been able to take his car pretty much anywhere he wants on the racetrack at any point in the run. But here we go with a big sprint to the finish of this stage. We'll see if he's able to hold on and score himself some points to help him move on to the next round, or if Opplinger has got something to say about that, or maybe Cocker or Falliker. We'll find out.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that are very capable of winning their race tonight. You can see the sunset is going down, and we're about to be in darkness here. But man, that sky was looking so gorgeous out here as we're getting ready to go back to green. We're going to have Justin leading us off, and that 4 machine down low. I haven't really seen anyone take that high send yet, Jordan.
Yeah, for the restart, I don't think you're gonna want that outside lane. The inside has such an advantage here, especially through the tri-oval and into turn 1. But here they go. They launch, and Anasagak gets a great launch. We'll have a 2 or 3 car lead heading off into turn 1.
Justin with a nice little lead. Second place is going to be side by side along with the rest of the drivers. Just a little bit of beating and banging. The 11 gets loose. Can he hold on to it? Let's take a look. He holds on to it.
What a
man,
save.
oh,
If
man.
if he's able to keep that off of everybody, keeps it down on the apron. An excellent job of driving. Everyone able to avoid him. That was a terrible. It was awful to get loose, but man, what an excellent job of holding on to that car.
And he's still trying to hold on to it. Gets back on the track. Gets
loose.
super
Oh,
loose.
Spinning. That is Taylor,
Josh
I believe.
Taylor.
Oh.
Absolute mayhem. Let's go back and see what happened. Oh, who is that? I do believe that was the 40 car. Just goes up and snags the 2 car. Oh man.
That is
insanity right there.
That is Christopher Karch, one of the handful of guys in this field you can watch on Wednesday nights with us. But yeah, just absolutely misjudges that and completely hooks the 2 car. And I mean, nothing Josh Taylor could do, nothing he did wrong there, just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And then the 99 plows into him, or the 66.
Man,
Can't tell.
You know, Josh Taylor is not going to be happy about this situation. Jimmy Cocker, though, is going to allow him to try to get things situated back and try to make his way back to the front of the field after him and Matthew Opliger got into each other. Kansas proving to be a hard race tonight. You can see Josh Taylor going into pit lane, trying to fix that damage. Just heartbreaking for him as a playoff driver. You hate to see that happen on your first race in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the thing about playoffs is you still have the other drivers out there that are not in the playoffs racing with you, and that's the worst situation that can happen is being a non-playoff driver to involve a playoff driver in a wreck of your making. That's a terrible feeling to have, and it's definitely not one anyone is going after, but still just an unfortunate thing to happen to Josh Taylor here before even the halfway point of tonight's race at Kansas.
Francis Hamilton, he stays out along with Jarrett Cardwell, Luke Allen, Connor Cunningham, and Tom Flitcroft. Remainder of the drivers are all on their way out from pit lane. You can see a mad rush as Justin beats them all out. Matthew Opliger directly behind, Brody Falliker, Hunter Johnson, Brendan Book, and then out comes Forrest Smith. All right, let's see how old Francis Hamilton. His tires are only 6 laps old. Luke Allen, we saw him involved in an earlier incident, just trying to climb his way back to the front ever since then. Still has some damage on those quarter panels. Hopefully his car is running well for him. He's got such a great car this season, been so incredibly strong. I really hope that he can make it into the final 8. You guys saying this race is nuts out there. You are correct. It has been wild. It's extremely loose. Next week, I do believe we head to Dega, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Talladega, yeah, 71 laps. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have the Charlotte Road Course. So some wild races coming up. Talladega is always extremely fun. It's always close battles. And then you have the Charlotte Roval, which, you know, those road courses, some of these drivers love it. Some of them not so much.
This is going to be an interesting restart here with the mixed bag of strategies going on, but Francis Hamilton, not a lot of laps on his tires. Jarrett Cardwell once again going to start up on the front row thanks to some strategy, but this time have a handful of guys coming with him as there's a bit of a mix-up here as they're trying to get reordered.
Francis Hamilton, a playoff driver. Looks like he will be leading us off, but yeah, a little bit of chaos. The lights are off on the pace car, so they should go green this time around. We'll see, unless our race control determine that they will not be going green this time. Evan in chat says slippery riding on the high side and a crazy train in this race. I'm telling you, anything that you can imagine happen definitely happened tonight. We haven't even made it to stage 2 finish here. Or no, this would be the stage finish.
That was,
it,
yeah, the
Jordan?
stage finish was
that
from
caution.
Race control ordered that being the stage finish.
So that is this end of stage 2, and the top 10 have been awarded their bonus points. You're officially in stage 3. Lined up 2 wide. These guys getting ready to go back to green. Francis Hamilton. He's got Luke Allen directly behind him. Tom Flitcroft. Let's see how this starts off for these drivers.
Green flag.
Here we go. Francis Hamilton, that outside really stacking up, Jordan. These guys 3 wide, and it looks to be around Justin Anisagak. Hunter Johnson in the middle, the 42 on the low side. Justin, he is not involved in that, but it looks like Matthew Opliger is. There he goes. He's going to spin it. That's going to be Connor Cunningham. No way that stays green.
Ready to have a cautions out, cautions out.
Yeah, that's going to be
How are you doing there,
a
bud?
yellow flag. And it looked like it just looked like Cunningham trying to keep it off of the 20. The 20 made an aggressive move to his outside, and the 3, with a little bit of a panic there, got loose. Maybe got a little tight, and I think jerked the wheel and got it loose. Also, maybe a little bit of net code contact, looking at it here. But yeah, it comes across, and nothing Brody Falliker could have done at all. He gets big time involved in that one.
Looked like it was almost 4 wide in that situation. Definitely not what you want to see. You saw some drivers back out of that, but just not enough. Says, was fun while it lasted. Thanks for the broadcast, Eliza, and letting me run. Man, crazy, crazy. A lot of stuff going on tonight. Straight out of Alaska says that was so close for Justin.
Yeah,
It most certainly
Nassagak
was.
barely didn't get hooked there. That could have been, if he gets hooked there, he goes back up into the middle of everybody, and that becomes a massive wreck. Very lucky that didn't happen.
That 4 car right there almost gets tagged by Hunter Johnson and just narrowly misses right behind. You know, he was probably screaming over that radio about how he just missed that. But man, oh man, close call for Justin there.
And again, that is another playoff driver that we have mentioned tonight who now has had issues at the very beginning of our final stage.
Top 2 drivers are playoff drivers, and then Justin Anasagak is going to be our 3rd driver that is in the playoffs. Tom Flitcroft, he makes his way up to 6. He is a playoff driver. And then Brendan Book sits 9th, another playoff driver. 11th is going to be Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. He is a playoff driver. Jimmy Cocker back there in 18th. We saw him in a situation earlier, fell back as he somehow saved his car and then had to save it again through the corner. This is absolutely crazy. Sand, I thought that might be. I kind of figured. Lap 73 of 150. The cautions are out tonight. I'm kind of curious. Are drivers kind of wishing that they didn't have, cautions back for stages? Or are they happy to have them back?
I think way too many of these guys like way too much chaos and like everyone being piled up onto each other. I think they'd rather spin that wheel than have no cautions. Just from what I have gauged from the personalities of the people we race with in this league, I think there are some of us who are, a little more into green flag runs, and there's some of us who would just, want things to be as chaotic as possible.
I see both sides of it. I do. Because it gets you guys back up again, and you have that other chance to get up there, do what you need to do, especially if something happened and you're involved with something. On the other side of it, if you're not involved in something, you don't want to see the cautions coming out and stage cautions, which breed other cautions. So, I do see both sides of it. And tonight is one of those crazy nights where it's not much you can do about it. I don't see anything too crazy. But yeah, just very, very close racing. It is Kansas. 3 wide. We've seen 4 wide once, maybe twice. These guys lining up double file. The lights are out. They will go green this time around with Francis Hamilton leading us back to green. Luke Allen to his outside. Jarrett Cardwell will be in the second row along with Matthew Opliger.
Yeah, if we can go 30 laps here or so, and Hamilton can maintain a spot within like the top 5 or so, that will be an incredibly successful a use of this strategy if he can hold on to some track position as well as force these guys to then use sets of tires. So Well, we'll see. I don't know if I love it, but it is a good idea to just do something different. And from that aspect, I like it. I just said I loved it and I didn't like it. So, you know,
All
just
sorts
play
of
both sides
feelings,
of the
right?
field here.
There you go. Race control keeping very busy tonight as these drivers all over the place, really. Top 2 drivers in the playoffs. Pace car is off and we're getting ready to go back to green. Let's bring it into the blimp view here.
Green
Get a
flag.
nice wide view of everyone. And here we go. The 48 gets a nice start. That outside line, it seems to be the norm here. Stacking up very quickly with the 4 guys. And now we're going to have 5. But here we go. 2 wide all the way through as they're trying to make their way back up to the front.
Yeah, Luke Allen couldn't decide if he wanted to stay up in front of the 20. Oh, he tries to
Oh!
put himself in front, tries to clear himself. The 20 obviously there. That causes a stack up, and now they are all wrecking. Brendan Book involved, Thomas
Let's talk about the car real
Flitcroft,
quick.
among others, and they are still crashing in turn 4.
I don't even know where that started.
That started with the 7 turning across the 20's bumper off of the exit of turn 2.
See if we can go back and see Tom Flitcroft. I see him getting turned there. He's got Tristan Health behind him. Luke Allen, you see up ahead. Just mass chaos everywhere.
Flitcroft perhaps overreacted maybe a little bit to that to seeing the incident up ahead. But again, I mean, you know, you see something happen, you want to get off of it, and he sees them woe down. He gets slowed down to try to maybe make a move to give room, and Health really right on his bumper, nowhere to go, and that's what causes that stack up. But then there's like a third wreck that happens here as everyone tries to make some big speed through there, and God, who is that? That was the 97 up on the safer barrier as a bunch of them plow into this wreck.
Oh. See if we can go find out that the 97 is going to be Joseph Turley. Let's go back and see if we can find out what happened with that 97. Sitting behind, oh man.
Yeah, he's behind Cocker. Cocker goes to dodge the 8, and then the 8 turns across, and he has to make a big move, and it's the 97, and then the 71 kind of plows through him, and that causes the rest of this.
It's like the 40's hood just bouncing
Yeah,
all over the ground out there.
Yeah, Karch, that mistake has really killed his day, and the 2 with more damage as well, Josh Taylor, so his day has gotten even worse now. So just a lot happening there in that wreck, and we'll see what happens. We're starting to slowly run out of cars to wreck here, Frozen. So maybe we can get some green flag racing in.
Oh man, you know, I know iRacing has put out some loose sets, and I've talked about this every week since they put it out, probably after race 7 or 8 or so. But man, oh man, it is crazy out here. And then you have stage cautions adding on to cautions. It's crazy, Jordan.
Yeah, that last incident, not because of the loose set. That was just some rough racecraft there out of I think the 7. I think on the old tires you just need to give the 20 that lane there and not try to clear yourself, and that's what ended up stacking up and causing the 8. The 8 did have an overreaction that really caused the big wreck, but that all starts with the 7 turning across the 20.
Francis Hamilton still out in the lead with Jarrett Cardwell. He's still hanging on to that outside. He's going to have Hunter Johnson directly behind him, and you know he's going to be putting the pressure onto him to try to get up to that front spot. Justin Inisagaki is sitting out here in 3rd, right where he started, the playoff driver, and Matthew Opliger is going to be directly behind Justin. He is going to be P5. Coming up to lap 80, Jordan.
I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna see here. The tire strategies are all mixed up. The drivers are all mixed up. A lot of them have damage now. I think this race is definitely shaping up for an Asagak. I think now that the 20 is slightly wounded, I don't think he's hurt too badly, but he had, a little bit of contact with the wall. These cars can be a little bit fragile. I mean, the 30 is very fast, but I think he's on maybe an alternate strategy as well. Maybe not. Maybe he's with those guys, but he had the massive rear end contact earlier, so I don't think that car is exactly what it could be as well. Uh, I think this race is shaping up very nicely for that 4 car.
Our top 2 drivers, they have 6 lap older tires than the rest of the drivers. They have 18, and behind the front 2 is going to be 12 lap old tires. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, very interesting to see what Matthew and Justin will do. We've seen a couple of different strategies play throughout the season, and kind of curious to see what we'll have here tonight. No more stages for the night. This is the final stage. So the rest of this is just going to be cautions if they do come out for wrecks. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back to green, headed to lap 81 of 150. Let's see if we can get a green flag run here. And man, they are stacking up already, that high side. It looks like Jacob Palmer is going to fall back. Jimmy Cocker going to try to get around. They're going to go 3 wide. Let's see if they can hold it still.
Yeah, the 12 has been getting some tough restarts out in that outside lane. Meanwhile, Hamilton able to keep his gap over the 4 of an Asagak. An Asagak might be content to ride behind and save his tires, or he might just go to that middle lane and try to take the lead, as the top three use 3 different lines through 3 and 4.
Oh, it is looking so incredibly sketchy out here with Jarrett Cardwell. We have Forrest Smith behind him, and we're going to have Hunter Johnson in front of him. These guys doing all they can to hold it from getting loose, but man, it is so incredibly sketchy. Here we go. The 12 gets loose. He's going to bring it up, and we have Jose Ruiz getting loose. Man, oh man. See what we can find out. It looks like Micah is going to be one of the ones wrecked. I don't even know where to start with this. Yeah, Micah just loses it, and he's right behind Jose. But man, looks like it's just going to be Micah there. Jose was able to save it. Micah gets spun completely around.
Yeah, almost looked like it was netcode, but I agree with you. I think Mike Allard just lost it on his own at about the same time as the 23 of Jose Ruiz, almost synchronized spinning out of those 2 drivers, but Jose able to keep it going. The 61, not so fortunate, didn't hit anything, but he is going to have to suffer that big EOL penalty. And actually, it looked like Jose wouldn't really lose. He was just trying to dodge the 12, who was having a really big moment coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, definitely possible here, but you can see whatever it was, he managed to keep himself out of trouble. You're going to see Jarrett Cardwell directly in front, but Micah, the only car involved in that will be a caution. For some of those, I wish it would just stay green, but iRacing, you can't help what they do call.
Yep, I believe that was a... was that a... Nope, that was definitely a, no, that was I think that was a manual yellow there. I think. Maybe not. I don't know.
Guess we'll find out after the race.
But yeah, my little brain not big enough to read this thing, but I do believe... Yep, nope, that was a race control caution. So that was not a race control, that was an iRacing caution, sorry.
Okay.
Yes. That was iRacing. And so, yeah.
All right, one thing remains the same. Francis Hamilton going to lead us back to restart. Matthew Opliger, he finds his way up to P2. Justin Anisagak starting right where he did start the race, P3. Take a look at this new name up here, John Honeycutt. 20 spots gained for him for FTR. Hunter Johnson in the top 5. Forrest Smith is going to be 6. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer making his way back to the front of the field after earlier incident. He is P7. Brody Falliker 8th, Jarrett Cardwell 9th, and Jose Ruiz, I keep feeling like I'm saying it over and over, he's P10.
Yeah, Honeycutt back, able to bounce back from that accident he was in earlier in the race, getting loose and hooking. I believe it was or it was one of the drivers we were talking about. It was either the 7 or the 93, can't remember, but either way, he has bounced back into the top 5 here, and as while the strategy I don't think is playing out exactly how Francis Hamilton wanted, it has kept him out of the muck and out of the mess. These wrecks have been about where he was running and about where he would have been running. So this strategy call has, at the very least, if it isn't working out perfectly for track position, saving tires, whatever, it has kept this car clean. So this is working perfectly in that regard for the 48 machine of Hamilton to keep this car spick and span, nice and neat, all the fenders on it, and that is, if that was all he wanted, then that is mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the more important things is just keeping your car clean and out of trouble. So if he can continue to do so and not lose out on strategy, great job for him. Hopefully that does become a reality for him, and hopefully he can snag a win. I mean, remember, guys, this is the playoffs. If they do get a win, if a playoff driver gets a win, that punches their ticket into the round of 8 automatically. That is huge, especially for Francis Hamilton, who has not gotten a win yet. That is something that you know he desperately wants. Let's see if he can get it. Pace lights are out. These guys lining up double file. You see a couple of drivers still out on the track trying to catch up. That is going to be Connor Cunningham and Josh Taylor, who is at least a lap down as he tries to make his way back up to the field. See them coming around. Francis Hamilton going to be leading us off.
We've got an extra penalty, I believe, for the 61. Not sure, but he's going to have to pit here after this green flag. Again, one of the stronger drivers on the season, one of our playoff drivers with a lot of issues, has been sort of a no-show all night long, and now with more issues, and he's likely going to lose a lap.
Fortunate to see for Micah in that 61, but hopefully he can make his way back up there. John Honeycutt lagging back a little bit behind that 20. That's going to bring the 81 of Forrest Smith to the high side. The 42 going to back out of 3 wide. And it looks like we're going to have Matthew Opliger take it to the high side above the 48 with a huge run. What a power move to the outside and into the lead. And somebody just completely blinks out, takes out John Honeycutt, and more chaos brings another caution.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the 30, those him and the 50 make contact, and I believe the 30 tries to alt F4 or something there, but Hunter Johnson was the cause of that. But it's first the 50 of John Honeycutt turned left on the 30 a little bit down the front stretch, and that got him loose. He got in there tight, and then yeah, I'm not really sure, but I think he tried to alt F4 there and ended up still causing a really big wreck.
Absolutely crazy. A lot of issues from Hunter Johnson tonight. Not the way he was wanting to see this go down. A tough race for him the last time he was in here also. We've seen a lot of net code tonight. We've seen a lot of blink outs. Man, just kind of crazy. Full moon.
But we didn't
or
even
something.
get to talk about how the lead was taken there on that restart. The 20 and the 4 finally had a big advantage on the 48 going through turns 1 and 2, but the 4 was boxed in behind the 48. The 48 had a small moment, and Anasagak had to check up, almost lost it, and that allowed the 20 around the outside to motor around both of them and take the lead. So a big move by Opliger to get the lead here. I want to say late in the race, but there's still, over 60 laps to go, 62 laps to go. So those could last for hours, Frozen.
I feel like the way this is going, it most certainly can. But Matthew just, again, very, very strong. He sees himself back out in the front. Francis Hamilton not out of this, though, but he's going to have to really put it into high gear to try to pass Matthew up, because he's just shown an incredible amount of speed. And then you're going to have Justin, who's going to be directly behind him, and he's going to have an advantage here just being behind him and getting a good restart. The 48 is just going to have to keep his eyes out and make sure that he gets a fantastic fast restart, as he's going to have Jonathan Jurgensmeyer behind him. So a lot going on. We have a lot of drivers going to pit lane. Connor Cunningham, Forrest Smith, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, Micah still out there in pit lane after an earlier incident.
Yeah,
John Honeycutt involved.
Allard was in that incident late. He got hooked by the 39 of Jacob Palmer as they were all trying to avoid that incident. That involved Tristan Helf a little bit. Big damage for the huge damage for the 61. Also damage on the 71 of Mike Campbell, as well as the 93 of Joseph Berg, another playoff driver involved in that one. Tom Flitcroft narrowly avoided getting involved in that wreck. Maybe a little bit of right rear damage from it, but otherwise those drivers were also involved in the late stages of that wreck as everyone came piling in.
Francis Hamilton, he is in pit lane, so on a totally different strategy at this point. He has gone in. He's going to be in the Hornet's nest as he makes his way out. Kind of a long stop for him. Not sure what is going on for him, but definitely a long one. 76 seconds, and we're still going here. On his way back out, he's going to make his way around and join the field. Currently sitting P17. Tenth caution of the night, heading into a lap 92 of 150. Ah, man, it's going to be a long one tonight here, Jordan.
Yeah, this is, as I said about 5-6 cautions ago, we're going to start running out of cars to crash here eventually. And I'm not really 100% sure if how many we're going to have exactly once we get going green here, but looking at the field, looking at the players we still have, I think we could get some green flag red, but I mean, still, we're barely past halfway. We're 15 laps past halfway, so we still have a good, we have more than a third of this race left, and so there's a lot of opportunity for action, for mistakes, and we've seen how hard the 4 and the 20 have raced each other. They've raced each other clean so far, the two of them, the 42 as well. The 00 is now making his name up a little bit up here. This definitely is shaping up for a fun finish, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens, and hopefully it's green flag racing.
Green flag.
Side by side, here we go. The 20 with a good restart. Justin on that outside. He's got Brody Falliker behind. Both lines moving pretty good considering the restarts that we've had before, but Matthew out to a nice little lead so far.
Yeah, Opliger's been getting great restarts, and that allows Jurgensmeyer to get to the inside of Anasagak, not able to clear him, gives the 4 the lane. Anasagak fighting back on that outside lane, but this is the best the 00 has looked all night after having some early issues, most of them of the technical sort. He is fighting back as there is a mess of cars behind these guys battling for second.
Jimmy Cocker really putting the pressure on that 12 machine, trying to stay off of the 23. You see a lot of chaos going around him. Drivers getting loose left and right, including Jimmy Cocker. Just pure chaos as they're trying to make their way up, and spin comes out. Tom Flitcroft, Joe Berg, PJ O'Leary, all involved in this one. Man, the fun never ends, I'm telling you. Yep. 33 and the 9, it looked like make a little bit of contact involve the 8.
Yeah, O'Leary big loose in the center there on the, I think he gets across that seam, that bottom seam, kind of trying to get to the 7 car to pinch him a little bit, and yeah, that causes everything.
See him right in the middle of that. Underneath is going to be Luke Allen, who just misses that after an earlier incident involved Tom Flitcroft. You can see a couple of drivers, the 93 Joe Berg, a couple of playoff drivers in here, not going to be happy after tonight's race.
Yeah, Francis Hamilton, who I just mentioned, his strategy had kept his car clean, also involved in that with some decent damage to the front and rear and the side of that car. So, again, they're falling like flies. It's like a bad horror movie, and this game has this race has acted like one all night long. And again, no one really hit hard enough there, so we didn't run out of cars. Eventually, we will run out of cars to wreck, but we still have plenty, it seems.
Francis Hamilton out on pit lane. Our top 8 drivers gonna be hanging out here. Matthew Opliger still in the lead. Justin Anasagak sitting P2. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in 3rd. Jarrett Cardwell in 4th. Our biggest mover so far of the night, up 23 spots. Jose Ruiz in the top 5. Philip Bridgman 6th. Luke Allen in 7th. Jacob Palmer in 8th. Brendan Book 9th. And Tristan Helf gonna round out the top 10. I'm kind of curious about strategy. I mean, I don't see a lot of long green flag runs being accomplished here tonight. But if we do, I wonder the tire situation for these guys. You know, we have 4 sets. How many guys have taken 3 sets or are on their last set, you think, Jordan?
I have no idea. I haven't been keeping great count of it. I'm sure a lot of these guys have pitted to fix damage and taken no tires. I'm sure some guys have maybe accidentally taken a set while trying to do some different strategy stuff. So I assume everyone is doing what they want to maintain a set of tires here for the end, or at least a couple of sets. I mean, we're still, you know, with 55 laps remaining. You better have a set of tires in the bank here if you want to get to about, 30 to go, 25 to go, and take your last set. If you think that's a point that you would want to take them. I think a lot of these guys, even that have sets of tires in that have seen how this race has played out, they might not want any part of coming to pit road, and they might just be willing to take whatever the tire saving gods give them for the finish of this race. But I don't know. It's I don't know which strategy plays out. I just know it's whatever one puts me up front with 30 to go, so I don't have to be back in the mess of this field.
I'm looking at Luke Allen, and he has made 12 pit stops tonight. And a lot of those are just trying to fix damage from earlier incidents. But man, that's where you really have to be on it, because you have to make sure you click off those tires. If you forget, that's going to take off a tire, and you can't afford to give up those tire sets. So hopefully he's been able to mark those off. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into strategies. You have to make sure you get the right amount of fuel, make sure you click on or off your tires, damage, you name it. So with 12 pit stops, that's a lot to keep right every single time. All right, you guys, fingers crossed that we can get some green flag laps in. The pace cars lights are out. We will go green this time. Justin is going to be on that outside, our first playoff driver, sitting P2. Matthew Opliger will be leading us off, P1. Lined up. These guys are ready, nose to tail. Let's see if we can keep it green just for a little while, guys. I got all the hope in the world. Heading to lap 98. Here we go. Green flag. A fair, decent restart, but that high side looks like it's going to be starting with Tristan Health. Didn't get a good restart for Smith. Behind him, falls back a little bit. We are too wide for P2, that 00 and that 4 machine. See what they can do out here.
Yeah, even with even tires, that outside lane really seems to struggle, but Anasagak fighting back hard. Opliger goes to the high line. They are 3 wide through 3 and 4 for the lead. Opliger going to have that advantage in the high line, and Asagak now side by side with Jurgensmeyer for that second position. Jurgensmeyer continuing to fight, and Asagak keeping him a little bit low on entry into 1. Now they're going to fight their way through, and Asagak right on that seam. Not really where you want to be, but he makes it work and powers around that 00, able to take away the second spot and trying to chase down the leader.
Tell you what, some crazy stuff going on around 9th and 10th. I mean, I thought these guys were going to wreck just bouncing off of each other, but they are still holding it steady. But a lot of racing. We have Philip Bridgman, Tristan Health in this pack, and the 81 car and the 9 almost make contact right there. I mean, these guys, you would think it was the final lap, but you see the 94 on that inside, the 81 on the outside. These guys are still moving.
Yeah, Health had made that big move at the beginning of the race and then just kind of got stuck in the 5th spot before kind of sliding back as the strategies and wrecks happened. The 81 getting super loose, but move Health back up into the 11th position. He's knocking, or actually he's up in the 10th, so move him back into the top 10. We'll see what he has for the finish of this race if he can end strong.
These guys are starting to spread out, single file all the way through at least the top 10.
Tom Flitcroft almost wrecked. He is really slow on the backstretch, had a big moment out of turn 2. He is falling back into the clutches of the 11 of Cocker, 94 of Health, everyone going around him. Smith, Falliker, he is going to lose 4 spots getting loose off turn 2.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that group right there, it was just absolute chaos as we went back to restart. The 81 looks really uncomfortable, really loose, along with that 8 machine. Let's just hope they can hold on to it.
Yeah, if you have an old DEI font on your car, your car isn't handling very well. Flitcroft has also been in a couple of incidents tonight, not of any of his making, but he has had a lot of bad luck. That car is hurt. Heard on the radio it wasn't as damaged as he was expecting it to be, but still, that thing's driving like it's a little bit wounded at the moment.
Yeah, he's still losing some time back there, really struggling to keep that car under control. The 9, the 81 gonna lose it. That's gonna bring out a caution contact between him and the 39, perhaps. Here we go again.
Yep, Forrest Smith looks like, yep, he just has a little bit of a bobble, maybe got a little bit tight. The 39 maybe down a little bit lower than he was expecting on corner exit. That's kind of low for there, not egregiously slow, but the 39 was pretty far off the wall at corner exit. The 81 not expecting that at all, maybe a little bit tight, but either way, yeah, that's just a spin out of the 81, and here we go.
All right, let's take a look at our top driver. It's going to be Matthew Opliger. Will be leading us back to green. Justin Anasagak sitting second. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in third. Jose Ruiz fourth. Brendan Books right where he started, P5. Jarrett Cardwell still up 21 spots. I mean, he's had a great strategy tonight. All these drivers are top drivers making their way on in. Jimmy Cocker stays out. Interesting call. Brody Falliker. Tom Flitcroft, we saw him getting so loose. I'm kind of surprised he stays out, Jordan.
Yeah, maybe he was loose because he was on fresh tires. Perhaps that's what was wrong, but yeah, with a car handling that bad, unless he's out of tires to take, a very interesting decision. But I believe Cocker, Falliker, these guys have taken it. This will be the last time I believe you see the leaders on pit road. I feel like Anasagak, Opliger, these guys all are going to I think they are all taking their final set of tires, and Anasagak is able to leapfrog Opliger and off of pit road.
Looks like Tom Flitcroft had almost 10 lap old tires along with Jimmy Cocker and Brody Falliker. So very interesting call on why he was so loose. But I agree with you that for these leaders, it's probably going to be the last time that we're going to see them take tires if they did.
I mean, if the race continues as it is going, you could get 25 laps from now and only have like maybe 6 green flag laps on them. So, you just got to base it on the trends. With as much as this field has thinned out, we started with 29 drivers. There are still, I believe, 24 still out there, and 20 are on the lead lap. So, I mean, the field is still plenty big enough, plenty competitive enough, and the the strategies are getting so mixed. Everyone is going to be running different speeds, have different handling capabilities, and so it's just mixing itself up for even more chaos. We're going to have to get, about 20-25 laps more into this race for the chaos to perhaps subside. But by that point, we'll be at the end where everyone is racing each other super duper hard, and so that will cause chaos on its own, other than just the handling and the strategies and all that. So that's what makes these races so much fun to run in, Frozen.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions, and when it gets towards the end, it's just you got the aggressive driving, and when you have these loose conditions, it most definitely does not help. And then you add the playoff. The playoffs are here, and you're going for everything that you can. So it's just you got a lot of different situations and strategies and circumstances going on. It makes for some chaos here at Kansas. Coming up to 107 of 150. Still plenty of racing left.
Yeah, the 11 taking the top here. That's the first time we've seen that all night. Have not seen a good restart out of that high lane. It looks like he's trying to protect his teammate, the 42 there. So I believe that's the main goal here for these two guys. You're going to try to keep Falliker on the bottom. Falliker will probably let the 11 clear, and that will give the 48. So those three drivers all kind of working together here on this restart. That'll probably put the 8 in a tough spot. That'll give the 11 a good opportunity, or not the 11, the 20, or is that the 20? No, that's the 4 back there. I'm blind. That'll give the 4 a good chance to be aggressive on this restart if he wants to try to get both of these guys.
Yeah, I think some definite communication will be going on between the 11 and the 42, just saying, hey, I'm about to restart, count you down. And the 42 will probably let that 11 back down where he needs to be, but that will definitely help protect him.
Like I said, that also means the 48 will get a good restart. So those three should exit turn 2 as your top 3. What'll happen? Who knows?
Oh, Tom Flitty really putting the bumper to him, the 33.
That's an early
chaos.
We'll see if the 8 gets penalized for getting out of line there before the start-finish line. He definitely tried to jump it, and as we mentioned, big wreck! The 33 head-on into the wall, the 00 involved.
Yeah, I saw that. He moves up, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, towards the middle of this center here, and just snags the 33, and these guys off and going right into the wall. What a wild night here at Kansas. Not expecting this many cautions, this much chaos. This is wild.
Yeah, it looks like the 00 maybe got into the corner, was using the right rear of the 33 to try to judge where he needed to be, and then the 33 kind of slid up just a tiny little bit of net code, but they were probably going to make contact anyway, and that turns PJ O'Leary head on into the wall. The 5 barely escapes that unscathed, and big old wreck. Actually got some damage in that, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Even on that restart, it looked like PJ was just all over the back bumper of the 8 car, who was all over the back bumper of another car.
the 40 hit the 93 hard enough to lift him off the ground in that wreck. So, just
We're having fun tonight.
yeah, there's a well after the accident happened, but yeah, 67 involved, big, just a lot of mayhem and chaos and carnage, Frozen. Just all of the things you don't really want to see unless you're a fan of chaos and carnage.
Luke Allen back on pit lane. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, you know, he was involved in that. He is in pit lane. PJ O'Leary involved. Connor Cunningham, Chris Karch. Micah, we've seen him on pit lane a few times. There he sits still. Chloe says, this is wild. Maddie says, cautions breed cautions. We're heading on 2 hours in this race tonight. Definitely a late one, lap 110 of 150. Still about 40 to go. Jimmy Cocker going to be leading us back. We'll see if he takes the high side once again. Brody Falliker in second. Francis Hamilton in third. Justin Inisagak in fourth. Tom Flitcroft fifth. Matthew Opliger, who has been so strong this race, sitting sixth. Jose Ruiz seventh. Brendan Book eighth. Jarrett Cardwell ninth. Tristan Helf top 10. Maddie, you are not wrong. Late night racing. Straight out of Alaska says, dear 8-pound, 6-ounce, newborn infant Jesus, let's stay green. I don't think we're going to see that tonight. We're way past that.
Yeah, this race is front row at a Leonard Skinner concert, and it's hammer drunk.
Oh my goodness. 13th caution. What are we doing here? Still quite a few drivers on pit lane, though.
Cautions. We needed the 2 extra yellows.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
this is crazy.
Should we have a conversation about allowing the inmates to run the asylum? Or is this the inappropriate place for it?
Albino Nova. I don't even know if I said that right, but thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. That's a lot of no-nos. Albin Anova.
Hey, little blinky blink.
I need Jordan to come over here and read the names for me.
Oh.
Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it.
I don't know. This race has made me go cross-eyed, so I don't know if I can.
Why does it tell me Tom Flitcroft crashed?
Because he's been blinking a little bit.
All right. My system is just saying, you know what? Let's just say everyone crashed. Let's just say that.
I mean, everyone has at this point.
You're kind of right. Jacob NASCAR, who is a racer out there, says, I have to be at work at 4 a.m. That is some early stuff, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Lap 112 of 150. Jimmy Cocker, Brody Falliker, Francis Hamilton in the top 3 with Justin Inisagak. Sitting fourth, all playoff drivers. Tom Flitcroft, all top 5 are playoff drivers here.
Yep, Matthew Opliger, this is about as far back as he's restarted in 6th spot. Brendan Book has worked his way back into the top 8, and there is Jose Ruiz in 7th as we're getting ready to take the green flag.
We need some kind of miracle here. Let's go green. And Brody Falliker not with a great start on that outside, but Jimmy Cocker, nice restart for him as he obviously led us off. The 48, Francis Hamilton, doing a great job. Tom Flitcroft, we've seen him pretty loose. We'll see how he fares. And Straight Out Alaska says, I think we're well past breeding cautions. These cautions have gone off to college.
Indeed they have. But this time around, Cocker taking the inside on this restart. No games out of the front. The 48 or the 42 with a little bit of a tough restart as that outside lane has gotten, but he's able to hold on to that third spot. Now Opliger is working hard to get back around that 4 of Anasagak. Anasagak and him side by side going down the back straight, racing for the 4th spot.
Justin has a nice run on that. We see Tristan Helf on the outside directly behind that 20. He's going to have a nice run on that. Brody Falliker falling back. It's going to almost put them 3 wide. Here we go, 3 wide. Hopefully he can hold the middle of Tristan Helf. Gets on that outside, goes past him. Brody going to lose a couple of spots.
Yeah, disastrous corner there for the 42. Going to lose 3 positions there if he is not able to hold on to this against the 94 of Tristan Helf. But with Helf up in that faster outside lane, he's going to hold on to it. Meanwhile, the 23, way down the bottom, it looked like he body slammed the 5 of Book, trying to get back in line. Those playing bumper cars, they are set. While they're doing that, they're settling it for that 4th spot up in front of everybody.
Yeah, I saw Andrew Sanford get incredibly loose. He somehow managed to hold on to it, but man, oh man, scary situation for him. We have Jose and Brennan Book. They are 2 wide. You got Brennan Book way up high. Forrest Smith thinking about making it 3, but holds off on that as Jose is going to lose a little bit of momentum with Brendan on that high side.
Those 3 wide. Meanwhile, they're getting side by side for the lead up here as the 48 looks underneath the 11 to take the lead.
Still side by side, the 48, the 11. Here we go. Jimmy on the outside with a run, but no, it's going to be the 48. He gets a nice run. That is going to stop as he can't take it all the way to the top. Stops his momentum a little bit. These two trading positions for the lead.
Yeah, meanwhile, the 20 up even higher than the 11, trying to get some clean air, trying to get that launch off the corner. Both of them are going to have a run on the 48. The 48 goes down to block the 20. The 20 going to give him a little bit of bumper tag music, and then look to his inside, heading down into turn 1.
Remember, Francis and Jimmy Cocker are teammates. The 20 taking it to the lead here. The 11 trying to give his teammate a little bit of help. We'll see if it works. Tristan Helf going to the inside, making his way up into P2. Jimmy Cocker going to lose a couple of spots in all this.
Yeah, Tristan Helf has been making some big moves, made a big pass on the inside. I thought he was loose off the corner, but he got underneath the 4 of Justin Anasagak and has since passed both Cocker and Hamilton. Now he has set his sights on Opliger. Helf has been in a couple of incidents, so I don't know how healthy that car is, but he is making it work, giving it some good pace right now as he is trying to run down the leader.
What a move by Brody Falliker. He sees Jimmy Cocker getting loose, takes it way up high, almost hits the 4 car, but he knows he's clear, brings it up directly behind, and takes that high side run past Brody Falliker. Or, I mean, he is Brody Falliker, past Jimmy Cocker.
Brody Falliker is Brody Falliker. In theaters Friday.
Right?
Falliker moving back into the top 5. Cocker, since restarting as the leader, has fallen back into the 6th spot. Probably hoping for a quick yellow here, so I would bet he has a set of tires still remaining. Probably hoping maybe go 5 more laps and then get another crash and use those tires to race back and fight back against all of these drivers who have passed him. But so far, it is Opliger continuing to maintain the pace out in front of the field.
Yeah, take a look at Tristan Helf. He's up high in the middle corner, and then he brings it down a little towards the center. He's got that run to the inside, and he's going to take that, puts him into the lead. Will he be able to keep it with Matthew Opliger on that outside? Going to do a slide job right up front. So incredibly close. Matthew going to answer back. He's going to snag the lead once again.
Yeah, that was that was putting a lot of trust in your car there by Helf, making that slider work, but Opliger was prepared for it, able to cross him over. He's going to do the same out of turn 2. Helf going to take it to the bottom. Fantastic racing between these two as they battle for the lead. Helf dives it to the middle. He'll try another slider. He'll be clear of the 20. Will the 20 be able to pull the cross again?
You know these two are having fun going back and forth. Matthew takes it to the inside once again. We have Tristan to the outside. Neither one of these drivers are a playoff driver. They're just coming out here for fun, trying to snag some wins. Meanwhile, you have playoff drivers behind trying to make their way up to the front. Take a look at those light blue fronts. Those are playoff drivers right there, but these two back and forth for the lead.
Yeah, typically when you're racing this hard, you lose ground, but it's almost like they've gained a tiny bit on the 4. Now Anasagak starting to reel him in as the 20 once again crosses Health slider through 3 and 4 as they go into 1 and 2. Not able to clear him that time. Health dives it in there into turn 1, trying to keep that second lane. He is going to have the preferred line. He is going to be able to complete this pass for the lead, so move Tristan Health into the first position.
These guys just doing a great job. Lap 124 coming up to 125 of 150. And these playoff drivers still trying to make their way up, trying not to mess up those tires, trying not to get involved in any shenanigans. Jordan, what do you see?
Oh, Health setting up for turn 1, clipped the wall going into the corner. He pulled a me. I tend to do that all the time, and he bounced it off the wall. Didn't look like it was enough to really damage it, but you never know with these Xfinity cars. They can be randomly fragile, and they want to be. So hopefully it didn't hurt his chances there. But either way, they are 25 to go. Suddenly, these laps are starting to count down pretty quickly. 25 to go here at Kansas.
Let's not jinx it here. Let's keep this baby green. See what we can do, but Tristan
This is
Health.
a long green flag run. Would be a shame if something happened that...
You bite your tongue. We still got Tristan out here in the lead. Matthew falling back after the heck of a battle between the two. Justin Anasagak in third, Brody Falliker fourth, and then a little bit of gap between him and fifth of Francis Hamilton. Has had quite a race, but great to see him out here in the top 5. Jimmy Cocker still holding on. He sits P6 after leading us, I do believe, back to green, close to the wall up there. He's trying to grab everything he can and hold on.
Yeah, maybe might have clipped it, but he has done an excellent job after losing those spots early in this restart. He's done a really good job holding on, but he is pretty well married to running that outside lane, running the wall. Definitely no tire saving going on there. He's trying to give it everything he can to maintain that track position.
Tell you what, Jimmy Cocker looked like he just snagged the wall just a little bit. His teammate, the 48, getting a little loose, but man, these two were very, very close. Cocker brings it up high, gonna get loose coming out of the corner, but he holds on to it down the backstretch. 23 to go, Jordan, and straight out of Alaska says, "Sweet baby Jesus answered my prayer." You guys keep those fingers crossed. And yeah. Let's see if we can't bring her home.
Yeah, right now the top 4 all maintaining ground. The biggest battle is for that 6th position. It's Forrest Smith trying to work on Francis Hamilton while Brendan Book is challenging him. So those 3 fighting really hard for that 6th spot right on the fringe of the top 5.
Yeah, the 81 just getting so incredibly loose out here tonight. He looks all right so far, but Brendan, man, oh man, I thought for sure he was just going to hit that wall with how quickly he was going up to the high side. Stays off of it, but man, I'm kind of curious how his car is handling out here tonight.
Oh, these guys, at this point, you've got what you got. You're not worried about the handling. You're just trying to keep the sucker under you. So I guess in that case, you are worried about the handling. But the 2nd through 3rd right now starting to accordion together. Jurgensmeyer keeping it low, doing the right thing there off of turn 4 to get out of their way. But Opliger and Asagak and Falliker all on top of each other as Tristan Health continues to grow this lead, to extend this lead that he has been able to gather.
You know, Tristan has been out here in the booth with me on the Xbox Series. Haven't raced it with him in forever, and he says tonight, actually told me a couple days ago, I am off work. I might come out and race with you guys, and here he is, and he's leading the field. Can he get his win out here tonight? We've had a couple of first-time drivers come out here and just snag a win. Curious if Tristan will be yet another one, as he is still in the lead by coming up to a second lead over Matthew Opliger.
Yeah, he is visibly pulling away from these guys, which is really surprisingly with how hard he's driven. Perhaps, maybe within the next few laps, that'll start to cross over. That tire wear will start to be a thing. But right now, Health gathering a big enough lead that it might not be a big enough deal. Meanwhile, Anasagak starting to work over Opliger for that second position. He's going to work to his outside and have that faster line, that preferred lane on the exit of turn 2. So do not count Anasagak out of this race. If he can get up to second, he has the speed and the will to get up to Tristan Health.
Yeah, I mean, he's so incredibly consistent. He can do anything out here. He's proven it time and time again, but he is holding on to that second spot. He is under attack, though, by Matthew Opliger and Brody Falliker. They are going to try to take over that spot. Meanwhile, they are letting Tristan Health get away, and Ranger says, who let Slow, I'm not going to say the rest of that element, lead the race, but he's doing a great job out here. And Grinch, I see ya. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing well.
Caution's out.
Oh!
How's my radio been today? Can you hear me?
Here we
was
go.
a wreck, and not sure where it happened.
Chris Karch, it looks to be involved. Let's see if we can find out. Ooh, let's
Sounds
rewind
like it was
that.
Jacob NASCAR, Jacob Palmer. Yeah, getting loose off of turn 4, getting
Yeah.
to the center of 3 and 4, right up against the wall, gets into Christopher Karch. Big contact for Karch. Into the wall.
Chris Karch involved in quite a few incidents tonight. You know, he's not having a fun time out there with the way that's going. Jacob Palmer involved in a few himself. So, man.
Yeah, at this point, I think everyone has a multi-list going on. But yeah, Karch has triggered a couple and been involved in a couple. So, as you said, not the night he was looking for at all. And that rear end looks absolutely horrible now.
Fortunate to see, for sure.
Pretty much everybody coming to pit road, so all of these drivers have an extra set of tires to utilize now. It's just going to be a big old sprint.
Top 17 are in. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, first one that stays out, and you can see the damage that he has. Jacob Palmer, he is out here also. Philip Bridgman. See what happens, but yeah, all of our top guys, they are definitely in, starting with Jimmy Cocker.
Yeah, I believe Jurgensmeyer is taking the wave around. He will be getting back onto the lead lap here. That car is heavily wounded. Gonna probably try to catch the field here and then see if maybe they can get a little bit more of that machine fixed. But definitely that car has seen some prettier days.
Bad dash out of pit lane, and it's going to be Brody Falliker who will lead us back to restart. 15 to go. We're almost coming down to the single digits here. Tristan Health in second. Justin Anasagak in third. Matthew Opliger fourth. And Francis Hamilton, who has been pretty consistent tonight. He's out here in the top 5. Can we stay green to the remainder of the race, or are we going to see some aggressiveness pick up?
Yeah, this is, I mean, these guys are going to be desperate for a win, desperate for points, desperate for position. Not so much out of Health and Opliger, but these other playoff guys are really going to be working hard to get every position they have, and so just. If these guys can go green to the end here, it'll only be, about an 11 lap run. So 11, 12 laps maybe. So it's not asking a whole lot out of these guys. They definitely have the capability of doing it. But I think the intensity is going to be way too much. And the thing is, it might not even be amongst these guys. It'll probably be drivers in middle to back of the pack, trying to keep up, trying to make moves to salvage a day that will slide them here. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I would like to see a nice, you know, dogfight for the win here over these next 10 laps, but we'll see. That hadn't been the norm tonight, but hopefully we can get another what's the word I'm looking for? My little exception, another exception to the rule, like we had that previous green flag run.
Drivers going around to get their lap back. That'll bring Brody Falliker up right behind the pace car. We're going to have Tristan Helf on the outside. Justin Anasagok directly behind Brody Falliker as he chooses to stay down low. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do stay green. We're coming up on 12 to go here. Hopefully we can, but as you said, I mean, there's just so much that can go on in any part of the track. You got guys going up for a position in the front, guys in the back, and that's a lot of times where you do see the chaos and you do see the cautions coming from is mid to the back of the pack. So anything is possible. I mean, you have this many cars out here, chaos is going to happen.
Yeah, and on top of it, a lot of wounded cars that are about to be pushed harder than they have been either all night or in a while. So, this is a tough situation to be in as a driver. You're just gonna have to make the most of it. Tristan Helf in a tough spot. That outside lane has not gotten a good restart all night. We'll see what he is able to do. Brody Falliker gonna lead him to green here.
Green flag.
Here we go, Tristan Helf, not a great restart here, stacks up the high side just a little bit. Matthew Opliger gives him a little bit of a nudge. Gonna come back to meet him with the bumper. Maybe give him a little help, but Brody Falliker out in the lead. Justin Anasagok in second, Tristan Helf third, and they are too wide for fourth. Almost wrecks, but holds on to it. Still, the chaos goes on as they are 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide, almost 4 wide, using four different lanes here, 3 and 4. The 11 of Cocker puts Smith in the wall, but they're able to make it work. The 5 gets loose, he clips the wall. The 11 around, big accident.
Caution.
That's going to be another caution.
What you have there, bub?
Have you ever? Oh, man. Let's see what happened here. Just pure chaos as they were 4 wide. I remember doing a league race 4 wide at Kansas. Somehow we held on to it, but I'll tell you, these loose cars. Brennan Book just getting snagged. Hard hit with the 12 into the 5, the 11 involved, and man, just so tough out here.
For hearing from his radio communication, he clipped the apron and just was chasing it up the track and ended up just could not keep it off of the 48. And yeah, that sent them all spinning. Oh, big hit for the 12.
Yeah, a huge hit for him.
Jarrett Cardwell, massive hit. But this is one of those tracks where the white line is a little bit below where you start losing some of that banking. So it's just very easy to hit it. We saw the 30 earlier in the race continuously clipping the apron, and then right here we saw the 5 doing the same thing, which is kind of a weird sense of irony when you think about it.
Coming off, I think, one of our best races from last week. Very clean race, long flag runs here, and complete opposite of tonight, just pure chaos, loose track conditions. And I'll say we did have loose conditions last week, but totally different race here tonight.
Yep, and really it hadn't been because of manual yellows. Most of these cautions have been, I think only 1 yellow has been actually thrown by our race control. The rest have been iRacing. And you can't really blame this on the addition of stage cautions, even though those are 2 yellows we didn't really need. So I don't know. It is what it is. These races are tough. They're tough for us. They're tough for the viewers. They're tough for race control. They're really tough for the drivers because it's just so frustrating to be a part of. But I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. It's sort of racing in 2024. Everyone is super aggressive, and and it just causes some incidents.
Absolutely. You can see a playoff driver, Brody Falliker, still out in the lead. Justin Anasagak, his hopes for a win still going on for this. Brody Falliker and Justin both have a win this season. Brody Falliker, he's got 2, if I'm not mistaken. Justin Anasagak just got his first win last week. He's looking for a second.
Up into P5, there's Jose Ruiz, not really known for his sprint speed, but there he is. He was sort of involved in a couple of incidents, but I don't think he's taken a lot of damage tonight. I think that car is in pretty good shape. We'll see what he's got for these guys. Again, not really a sprinter. He's a driver that likes long green flag runs, which if you haven't noticed, we haven't had a lot of those tonight, but yet there he is sitting in P5 here late in this race as we're going to get going green with about 5 or 6 laps remaining here.
Yeah, he's one of the FTR drivers. Unfortunately,
My
teammate right there, they did not make it into the playoffs, just missed the cutoff. So extremely close. Jordan, you gotta correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first one that we did not make the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been in the playoffs every year, so I think this is the first time I've missed. So yes, I believe so.
Unfortunate to see, but hey, there's still wins. There's still wins we can grab, and Jose out in the top 5 here. 8 to go, coming to 7. Brody gonna lead us back to green. Lights are out on the pace car. We're gonna go back to green, come in with 6 to go. Let me know, chat, who do you feel is gonna be the winner here tonight? Will it be Falliker, Justin Anasagak, Tristan Helf, who is first time racing with us this season, and man, he picked a heck of a race.
Yeah, he picked a... yeah, he... But here he is. He's got a chance to win it, and if you win it, that makes it worth it, I guess. So
there you go.
There you go. And he's going to get to restart. After restarting on that outside lane, he's going to be underneath Falliker. The 4 of Justin Anasagak going to have to work hard again. We have not seen a good restart out of that outside lane all night. We'll see what he can do here as we're coming to green. We'll have 6 to go to settle this, even though that might, with green white checkers, be more like 20. But who knows? Maybe it'll be 6.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Coming up to 6. Brody gonna lead us. The 4 on the outside. Hopefully that outside gets a good run. Brody hopes otherwise. We'll see what happens either way. Brody with a nice start. Obviously, it's starting on him. The 4 car, not a bad start for him. I mean, they are all off and moving.
I mean, Falliker just got a really good restart. The 4, that's about the best that the outside lane has hung onto that second row all night long. But Health working really hard, getting really loose on the bottom there, while Anasagak fighting back as there is a mess behind them.
2 wide for second. That's going to be Tristan. Gets a nice momentum run above that 4 car. He's going to bring it out in front of him. They are single file line. He's going to bring it under the apron.
That was a strong corner out of the 94.
Yeah,
able to
absolutely.
maintain that run.
Taking it to the high side. He's got some followers. That's going to be Justin Anasagak, and he's going to have Matthew Opliger. Gets a little loose. Justin almost loses it, holds on to it, and these top 4 drivers, they are on top of each other. Tristan gonna go down low, and man, what a power move. Brings it up high, and he takes over that lead. Huge momentum from him.
Yeah, and able to maintain that momentum. The 42 a little bit loose, maybe a little pushy loose off of turn 4. Couldn't really tell. But either way, not able to get the run that he needed to get back to Tristan Health. Now he's falling into the clutches of the 20, actually holding the 20 up a bit. That's going to allow the 4 to pass both of them and set his sights on the 94 of Health. But there are only going to be 3 laps remaining here when they cross the line.
Brody underneath, Justin Anasagak, and we have the 20 on the outside. No help for Brody, but the 20 brings it down low. Hopefully carries some momentum. The 20 brings it up high, kind of questioning where to go, and he's going to be on that high side. Meanwhile, you're going to have Brody Falliker side by side with Justin Anasagak, and this is going to be for P2.
Yeah, Oppliger has made that high line work on several restarts, but wasn't able to get around him that corner, but able to pull alongside the 42 down the back straight. Now, once again, they fan out using all three different lanes. It's going to be the 4 of Anasagak holding on to that second position, but 2 to go, taken by Tristan Helf as he maintains a 3-car length lead going into 1.
Just pure chaos up here. Just great racing. We're still having Tristan Health lead it as we come up to 1 to go. We are on the backstretch. Can we bring it to 1 to go? Justin Anasagak getting attacked by the 20 who brings it down low. He's going to make contact huge into the wall. Caution out as we are almost to the line, Jordan.
That was big, pretty big net code, but I think there was going to be contact there anyway. That was a very ambitious move. He thought he was going to be able to clear and slide him, and wow. Yeah, that's a lot of net code, but I think he's hitting him anyway.
There's absolutely going to be contact there.
But
ooh,
yeah, the 20 with
2-car just involved in everything you can imagine, just hits underneath him so hard. The 20 car is crab walking now.
That car finally looked good, and yeah, that's what happens to Josh Taylor. That is not what you're. He has had a terrible night, and not of his making by any stretch of the imagination. He's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time the entire evening.
Look at that 20 car. Just that thing is done for the night.
And
absolutely. Wow.
I will say that's a lot of speed being carried with a car wrecked in front of you. But yeah, that's just unfortunate. The car doesn't need to be wrecking to begin with.
No. 20 car into pit lane. I thought we were gonna make it, guys. So incredibly close. Almost did.
Just a really ambitious move out of Oppliger, who has run such a great race all night long, for it to go sideways with just a small, I guess you could call it a mistake, but yeah, just being a little too aggressive. But because it being netcode, the 4 I don't think got any damage out of that whatsoever. I think he'll be in good shape here. It'll just be really tough to beat this 94 on a restart.
Yeah, I do not see anything on that 4 machine, so he's looking pretty solid. I wonder
what everyone has for tires, because we're at a point now where, we had enough laps there. If you're in the middle to back and you still got a set, you might want to use them here, but not really sure if anyone has come to pit road or if pit road is open here, or if that's even an option for anyone.
From what I am seeing, our top 8 drivers, 15 lap old tires. If they took tires in the last 15 laps, they could have gone in for fuel.
A handful. Let's see.
See what they do. I don't know. If I'm out in the top here, I don't want to go in. Free to go. Yeah, I'm staying out.
Yeah, the 93 of Joseph Berg, he's come in, but he is 7 down. Okay, these are all lap down cars, so I guess this is the opportunity he's already passed for lead lappers. So, might be.
Pete, 4 looks clean. He looks good. Doesn't look like there's any damage to him. Right front, left front looks fine. Tristan Helf will lead. Justin Anasagak in second. Brody Falliker third. Forrest Smith finds his way back up here. Sitting P4. Francis Hamilton, again, back up here. Very consistent. P5. Yep. Jose Ruiz in 6th. Tom Flitcroft 7th. Luke Allen, who's had just a heck of a night, sits P8.
Somehow he sits here P8.
Like, just that is blows my mind.
That is just working hard. Mike Campbell sitting in P9.
Yeah, how about that?
That might be it. A season best. Andrew Sanford I don't think I've mentioned his name all night, and he's sitting there in P10.
Yeah.
But I mean, only 15 cars remaining on the lead lap. So this is a night where if you were just able to stick it out and hang around, uh, Joseph Berg, he was involved early with big damage. Big enough damage he was able to leave the race and go walk the dog or whatever and come back. And even though he should probably finish 28th or 29th, he's managed to get up to 21st, which who knows, 7, 8 points, that could mean a lot. Before all this is said and done here in a couple of weeks after the Roval. So, I mean, this is just one of those races where you just, if the car will run, you might as well keep her out there because who knows what kind of points you can get.
Ace lights are out. 94 will be leading us. That is Tristan Helf, first-time driver in SnB for this season. Not first-time driver in SnB though. Fast driver, he was on Xbox, obviously out here on iRacing, loves the dirt series, but here he is leading on asphalt.
Yep, loves dirt, loves staying up late, but here we go. He'll take the green in the lead.
Green flag.
Here we go. Can we keep it green? Let's go, guys. Nice
With another
restart.
good start. Honestly,
Yeah.
a really good restart out of that. Both of the second row, Faliker and Anasagak reacting very well to Health pulling off, but they're still side by side. Faliker actually might be able to clear here. He's going to try to pull up in front of Anasagak and block him in.
A lot of shenanigans going on midfield. The 9 getting pushed by the 3. These guys 2 and 3 wide, but here we go to the front. The 42 directly on the tail of the 94, and we're coming up. 1 to go. Can we make it there? Say it so.
Woo! White
Sweet
flag.
baby Jesus, here we go. The white flag is here, and Tristan Health leading us as we're into 1 and 2. Brody Faliker, how about this? Taking it to the inside. Can he snag another win for SnB? We'll see. Or will it be Tristan Health? First time win for season 4 here in Xfinity. Here we go. He does not have enough. It's going to be Tristan Health. Bring it into the finish here at Kansas. 100, and I don't even know how many laps. But here we go. He is the winner. Brody Faliker second. Forrest Smith grabs third. How about that? Justin Anasagak fourth. Francis Hamilton fifth.
Yeah, heck of a restart by Forrest Smith that we completely missed watching that excellent battle for the lead. Health, Faliker sent it in there into turn 1, or into turn 3 or into turn 1. He sent it in there once, and Health was able to beat him down into the bot and get to the bottom. And that was really all that Health needed, is he was able to hold that line, hold in front. A little bit of RG bar, a little blocking down the back straight, trying to decide which line he wanted to protect, which line he wanted to run. But that was an excellent run race out of Tristan Health, especially there at the end.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's
sorry.
take a look. Tristan Health out here.
And, everyone is beating up his poor race car.
It's been a while.
Gets the win. First race here. It's been a while since I've raced with him, but here he is celebrating. And he's already out. Tristan, man, what a race. I mean, this was a chaotic race here at Kansas, and here you are getting the win. How was your race out here?
Chaotic is the word for it. I can tell you that much. A lot of aggression out there. I was just trying to ride around there for a while, and then the lap started winding down. I'm like, yeah, I got to start pushing this and get up there and try to put myself in a position for the win here, to play a little bit of spoiler. Sweaty.
You know it's been a hard race when these guys are telling you that they're sweaty, but he gained 22 positions tonight. Yet another driver coming in and taking a win out here. Did you think this was going to go the way it went tonight here at Kansas?
No. Never works out that way. Just when I finally got in the session, turned a couple laps, I'm like, okay, this ain't going to be too bad. And then during the race, I was just trying to be patient, take care of tires, even though it didn't look like I was being patient, but I was just pacing, riding around, trying to stick with Brennan. Off turn 2, something happened in front of Tom, and I couldn't see what happened, and he checked up and I didn't check up, and that's what caused that turn 2. And It was just a racing ordeal. And man, that battle with that 20. But I did not like those yellows at the end. Let me tell you, I had that
I
gap.
bet.
And I was like, oh man, that yellow. I thought it was a dagger in me, but we made her happen.
Well, great job on the win and great to see you out here racing. And hopefully, we'll see you again before season end. But congratulations on the win. Great run.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, guys, for putting this on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, Jordan, let's bring it over to Brody Falliker. Almost looked like he was almost going to snag a win tonight for possibly his third win, but we'll see what went on in his race.
Yeah, another guy in a long list of drivers tonight who had a wild up and down day, involved in incidents, ran a lot up front, was in some hard racing. Talk about your night and how you were able to end up P2 there at the end.
Well, through and through, the race was it was pretty solid. Besides the contact with the three on that one restart, but I don't know. We were able to get back up to the front pretty smooth, and then at the end with Tristan, I feel like if I wasn't in the position I was in, I don't know, I might have sent it in a little bit deeper, but I would hate to not get a win clean. So um, you know, almost. Tristan was really fast in the later part of the race, so um, I think his car came in at the right time, and I think he deserved that one.
What are these races like where you can't really get into a good rhythm? You know, a lot of yellows. The car isn't the easiest to handle, but it's not all on the car's handling. Like what are these races like from the driver's perspective, where you're trying to manage, when do you pit, when do you want to go into the back of the pack to mess with the rest of the field? Like what are these races like?
Well, first of all, as a driver, you're looking to capitalize, every single position, every opportunity that you get, you want to try to capitalize on. Those restarts, that's a lot of, you can capitalize really, uh, a lot on them restarts. Um, but you're also hoping that, you're not going to be the next one wrecked whenever it's, caution after caution. Uh, it just stirs the pot.
That is Brody Falliker. A strong race. Add to a line of strong races he's had this season, and a great start to his playoff, coming home in P2.
And third is going to be Forrest Smith, who had a wild race tonight. We've seen an up and down battle for you, gaining 12 spots, making your way into the final three for tonight's race. How did it go for you, Forrest?
Well, like you said, we had started 15th, and we were slowly working our way up. At one point, we were in the top five, and had gotten involved in an accident that had about a minute worth of damage, and I thought my race was over. Hood was dislodged. Uh, I just thought it was over, so I thought I was just gonna have to ride around top 10, hope for a top 10, but we luckily got that top three.
How was it trying to save the tires, and how do you know when to take those tires versus just saving them for yet another caution?
Well, saving tires was fun. I kept burning my right rear. As you can tell, during the whole race, I was loose. But I mean, the way you have to change your tires, it's kind of set. First stage, you change after that. Second stage, you change after that. It's because you're only given 4 sets. You have to be wise about them. And then that last, basically 80 lap stretch that we had, it was, if it went green, I was going to try to go 40 and 40 and save a set in case there was a green white checkered. But having basically um, basically like a 25 lap runs each, it was just go 25 25 and then have that last set about 25 to go.
Well, you definitely made the strategy work, and we saw you getting slideways out there, but you held on to it, grabbed a top 3 for the night, so great points and a fantastic race to end the night. Just a huge congratulations to Tristan for the win, Brody in second, Forrest in third. Next week, we are headed to Talladega. It's going to be wild. It's always a fun race, so I hope to see you guys there. Jordan, it was fun to be in the booth with you. It's been, I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3? I don't even know.
Yep, it was fun to be back. Gonna hop back in the car for a couple more races, but then should be back with you for the stretch run if you'll have me. A lot of fun being up here for the 24 hours of Kansas, and yeah, that was it was wild, but it was a race that happened tonight, and at the end of the day, Tristan able to pull off the win.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great night. We'll see you next Monday night, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Take it easy.